Global freak invasion. Everyone gets randomly assigned their own safe house. Every night, someone will knock, begging for shelter. Could be an old man, a kid, a beautiful woman. Let a freak inside, you're dead. But shelter a real human, you get 100 credits. Credits by supplies, upgrade your safe house. If your safe house level is too low, freaks will smash the door down and kill you. So to survive longer, I'm trying to figure out how to reinforce this door. Then a cold, mechanical voice echoes in my head.
To aid human survival, the system will periodically release identifying freak traits. First trait, greenish, abnormally sharp fingernails. Tonight's mandatory quest, shelter at least one real human. Failure results in non-compliant safe house status. Termination. Starter pack issued. Check your inventory.
The voice fades. I stare at this flimsy door. Greenish, razor-sharp nails plays in my mind. Like a zombie? Or some female ghost. One scratch and this thing is kindling. Gotta take in a real person too. Can't just let anyone in. I'll let out a breath. Whatever. Overthinking won't help. Just wait for nightfall. Better check out that starter pack first. I pull up the system interface. Simple menus. Market. Inventory. Com channel. I open inventory. Grid layout. I select the pack. A cheap fireworks effect explodes. New items appear. 10 boxes of braised beef instant rice. A crate of water. A hand crank radio. An AK-47 assault rifle. For mags, 120 rounds total. I almost whoop out loud. I grab the rifle immediately. Cold steel. Heavy. Solid metal. Pure security in my hands. That earlier anxiety? Gone. My stomach's not hungry yet. Time to scout this randomly assigned apartment. 2-bedroom. Windows and door are standard issue. Flimsy. The balcony railing? A joke. A determined freak would breach this in minutes. Gotta earn credits and upgrade fast. I peek through the peephole. Pitch black hallway. Weak green emergency lights. The mechanical voice chimes in again.
Nightfall. Visitors arriving.
I tighten my grip on the rifle. Here we go. A frantic pounding starts at the door. A woman's voice, choked with sobs, accompanies the banging.
Is anyone there? Please open the door. I can't hold on much longer.
Hearing it's a woman, I let out a subtle sigh of relief. Even if she's trouble, the physical difference gives me an edge. I'm ready to fire. I peer through the peephole. The hallway light is too dim, just a slender silhouette, shivering all over. Looks genuinely like someone backed into a corner.
Stay right there. Slide your hand through the door gap. I need to check your nails.
If she hesitates or refuses, I won't hesitate. I'll shoot. The girl outside doesn't hesitate. She immediately slides her hand in. I flick on my flashlight. Under the harsh light, her pale pink nails are smooth, rounded. No sign of graying or sharpness. I relax a fraction, but I don't lower the gun.
Get in.
I open the door, the muzzle aimed at her chest. The girl enters, hands covering her face, sobbing in hiccups. She's wearing a white t-shirt, light blue skinny jeans, hugging a slender waist and long legs. I lock the door, take 2 steps back to keep distance. My voice is ice.
Cut the act. Who are you? What's happening out there?
She finally sees the gun in my hand. The sobbing stops dead. She trembles, says,
I'm Tang CIA. It's chaos out there. Freaks everywhere. And the moon, it's all wrong. Glowing this creepy red. The freaks, they seem more active in that red light.
She pauses, then the crying starts again.
I escaped with my roommate, Lin Feifei. We tried so many safe house doors. No one would open up. Feifei told me to find somewhere to hide. She went to try other doors. I don't know if she's...
When she lowers her hands, her face is delicate, pretty. Those big eyes, red from crying, only make her look more pitiful. But this isn't the old world. Her wailing is grating on my ears. I snap.
Shut it! If she's alive, you'll see her again. If she's dead, your crying won't bring her back.
As I finish speaking, another frantic pounding hits the door. Louder, more desperate than before. A voice shouts outside.
CIA. CIA. Are you in there? Open up. It's Feifei.
The tone is eerily similar to Tang Xiaoye's. Full of panic. Tang Xiaoye hears it and shout out loud right now.
Feifei. Feifei. Don't panic. I'm opening the door right now.
She said that and tried to push past me to get to the door. I grab her arm hard, yanking her back.
Who said you could open it?
Her eyes were red with desperation, struggling against my grip. Her voice was a mix of confusion and pleading.
She's my roommate, Feifei. Let her in, hurry.
I shove her away.
I'm the one in charge here. Who gets in is my call.
She yelped and fell to the floor. I ignored her. Peering through the peephole, I saw a slightly shorter girl outside. I repeated the same line I gave Tang Xiaoye. She hesitated, didn't move. A bad feeling crept up my spine. This girl's off. Probably one of those freaks. Just then, Tang Xiaoye freaked out behind me.
Feifei. Just show us your hand. We just need a quick look, then you're in.
Hearing Tang Xiaoye's urging, Feifei slowly slid her hand through the door crack. Under the flashlight's harsh beam, Her fingers were slightly curled. Her nails had a faint bluish tint, the tips sharp like claws. They gleamed with a creepy, cold light under the beam. Tang Xiaoya gasped sharply behind me. She went silent. Outside, Fei Fei, getting no response. Her tone turned impatient.
Xiaoye, let me in. You said just to look at the hand.
Tang Xiaoya sobbed, shaking her head. Outside, Fei Fei, getting no answer from Tang Xiaoya, started frantically slamming against the door.
Xiaoye, let me in. There are freaks everywhere out here. When did you figure it out?
As she was slamming against the door, I yanked it open. I aimed the barrel straight at her chest. No hesitation. Pulled the trigger. A sharp crack echoed. The bullet hit instantly. Fei Fei let out a guttural, inhuman shriek. The impact threw her body hard against the corridor wall. Thick, dark green fluid splattered across the wall. It gave off a sharp, acrid stench. A few twitches, then she went still. Tang Xiaoyue froze in terror, completely rigid. Her face went ghost white. Even her tears stopped. Her eyes were wide with pure fear. When she looked at me, there was a flicker of mixed in. I holstered the gun, my voice flat.
Look close. Next time you hesitate, you're the one who dies.
Tang Xiaoyue nodded frantically. Her whole body shook, words tumbling out in a whisper.
I get it. I won't. I won't ever again. I'll do whatever you say.
Watching her submit, I thought to myself, that's more like it. Only those who adapt to this world's rules get to live. I leaned against the wall, idly checking the assault rifle. Kept waiting for the next guest. Didn't have to wait long. The mechanical voice echoed in my head.
First night visitation concluded. Commencing shelter results. Owner, Lucia. Reward, 100 credits. First freak kill confirmed. Reward package granted. Available for use in the systems market.
The moment I heard the credit chime, the knot in my chest finally loosened. I immediately pulled up the market interface. I chose the door window reinforcement. Exactly 100 credits. Upon purchase, construction noise began. It was faint, but I could feel the doors and windows vibrating. When it stopped, I pushed against the main door. Solid. Heavy. No longer that flimsy piece of junk. The windows were now reinforced steel. Looked damn sturdy. The night grew deeper. I walked to the living room window, peering down through the glass. Outside, nothing but pitch black. The red moonlight stained the room. The inn was here. Tang Xiaoyue huddled in the corner of the couch. Her fearful eyes darted to the door. Too scared to sleep, she saw me enter. It was like she gathered all her courage. Her big eyes looked at me expectantly, her voice soft and pleading.
I'm scared. It's just the two of us in this place. Can I sleep with you?
Cut the crap. Sleep on that bed over there. Or stay on the couch in the living room. Wherever you are. You don't move unless I say so.
The expression on Tang Xiaoyue's face instantly fell. She shot me a glare, pouting as she got up. She dragged her feet over to the side bedroom. When she lay down, she made a point of being noisy. I watched her act out and snorted to myself. Throw a tantrum all you want. This is my turf, my rules. I don't know how long I slept, but my eyes snapped open. My first instinct was to reach for the rifle beside me. Touching the cold barrel finally settled me. I got up and checked my phone. 4 p.m. Not much daylight left. The side bedroom door cracked open a sliver. Tang Xiaoyue peeked her head out.
You're awake. What are you doing?
I'm starving. One each.
Tang Xiaoyue's eyes went wide, and she nodded repeatedly. For some reason, a faint pang of disappointment flickered through her. I opened the system interface. Credit balance, 0. Clicked into comm channel. Busy yesterday. Didn't have time to check the messages. Might as well see what everyone else is saying now. Messages in the comm channel were flying by. Most were just venting about last night's ordeal. Then one message caught my eye. From a guy named Zhao Kai. His tone was frantic, littered with exclamation points.
I tested a freak last night. Found a new clue. Their memory of dates is messed up. They can't keep track of time.
My eyes lit up as I finished reading. Another way to spot a freak. I pulled out my phone and noted it down. Just then, a rich, savory smell wafted over. Tang Xiaoyue handed me a self-heating meal. I dug in.
From now on, you handle all the chores around the safe house. Yeah. Taking in real people earns credits. Credits buy supplies. If you're looking for a free ride, get the hell out now.
Got it. I'll do my job.
Before I knew it, the sky was getting dark. The mechanical voice in my head started up again.
Freak second trait. Gray irises in bright light. 3 visitors arriving tonight. Please prepare, homeowner.
I sat on the couch, fiddling with the rifle. I now had 3 clues. My accuracy in spotting freaks had improved. Then, a slow, faint knock sounded at the door. Tang Xiao inched even closer to me. She almost sat on my lap. I pushed her away.
You go open it.
Tang Xiaoya's eyes instantly welled up. Seeing I wouldn't budge, she steeled herself and walked to the door. A fit of coughing came from outside. It sounded like an old man. Weak, frail, and pleading. Is anyone there? I'm not well. I can't run anymore. Please, open the door. Tang Xiaoya's eyes flickered, and she moved to open it. I smacked the back of her head. She glared back at me. Then, nervously, she spoke to the person outside.
Wait. Put your hand through the door crack.
The old man outside didn't hesitate. Slowly, he slid one hand through the gap. Tang Xiaoya turned on her flashlight. She examined it, shook her head.
His nails are light brown. Not green, not sharp.
Check his eyes next. See if the iris changes.
Tang Xiaoya did as I said immediately. She aimed the flashlight at the door crack. When the harsh light hit the old man's wrinkled, weary face, her heart softened. The light beam just swept over him briefly. She didn't get a clear look at his iris at all. She bit her lip and whispered.
He looks fine.
With that, she slid the bolt open. A sudden, bad feeling hit me. I was just about to shout for her to stop. Right then, the old man outside saw the door opening. A flash of malice crossed his eyes. He dropped the weak act completely and lunged at Tang Xiaoya with terrifying speed. His withered claws went straight for her throat. Look out! I charged from the side. At the same time, I shot the old man in the chest. Bang! The shot rang out. The bullet hit instantly. Several bloody holes erupted in the freak's chest. He staggered back, twitched a few times, and went still. Dark green, viscous fluid splattered across the door. It gave off a sharp, acrid stench, just like the freak I took down last night. Panting, I stared at Tang Xiaoya, slumped on the floor. My back was soaked with cold sweat. That was a close call. A second later, and I'd be dead.
What the hell were you doing? What did I teach you?
Tang Xiaoya's face was ghostly pale, lips trembling, unable to speak. Her eyes were filled with panic and the aftershock of fear.
You felt sorry for it? If I'd been 1 second slower, you'd be the one lying on the ground right now.
Tears instantly welled up in Tang Xiaoya's eyes. She hung her head, shoulders shaking uncontrollably.
I know I messed up. I'll check properly from now on. I won't ever let my guard down again.
She looked up at me. Her red-rimmed eyes were full of hurt and guilt. She grabbed my arm tightly.
I won't be soft-hearted again. I'll only listen to you. Please don't make me leave.
I remained unmoved, staring at her coldly. But inside, I was thinking, that's 100 credits a day. Like I'd ever send that walking cash cow away.
This is the last time. If you can't adapt to how this world is now, don't drag me down with you.
Tang Xiaoya's eyes hardened as she nodded firmly.
Then what are you still doing? Clean the door.
I sat on the couch, gun in hand. Tang Xiaoya knelt, shaking as she wiped. Frantic pounding began at the door. Bam, bam, bam. The force was massive, shaking the door in its frame. Felt like dust was raining from the walls. Tang Xiaoya, still scrubbing, jumped in fright. A rough, gravelly male voice growled, full of undisguised menace from the other side.
Open up! Don't play dead. I'm human, damn it. Keep us locked out and you're both dead.
I frowned. That tone didn't sound like a survivor backed into a corner. More like a street thug. Thinks having a bit of muscle means he can push people around. A flicker of fear passed through Tang Xiaoya's eyes. She instinctively moved closer to me, whispering.
He sounds really angry.
I patted her arm, signaling calm. My voice was ice.
Scared of what? We'll check if he's human or freak. Even if he's human, if he starts trouble here, we'll handle him.
Hearing no response, the guy outside got nastier. He kicked the door hard. Bang.
You hear me in there? Open up or I'm breaking this door down.
Tang Xiaoya took a deep breath, gripping the flashlight tight, ready to check any second. Hissed under my breath.
Shut it. Stick your hand through the door crack. You get in after I clear you.
The guy outside cursed a string of obscenities, shoved a hand in impatiently, tone dripping with arrogance.
Check all you want. You screw this up. You're gonna regret it.
I moved to the door crack, using Tang Xiaoya's flashlight beam, scrutinized his nails. Pale black, trimmed short, not green, not sharp, human. Tang Xiaoya shone the light in his eyes, squinted, then shook her head at me.
Iris is normal. Not foggy. He's human.
Tang Xiaoya cracked the door open, voice still tense. Get in. The man shoved the door wide. Swagger inside, big, burly frame. A vicious scar carved down his face. Clutching a switchblade, eyes scanning the room the second he entered. His greedy gaze landed on the ammo, and leftover MREs on the table. He muttered.
Hell. Didn't think this dump had this much good stuff. Guess I hit the jackpot.
He turned to me and Tang Xiaoya.
From now on, this safe house is mine. You two work for me. Scrounge supplies. Watch the door. Step out of line. I'll cut you.
He gave the switchblade a menacing flick. The blade gleamed cold under the light. Clearly thought we were nothing. Tang Xiaoya trembled, shaking, instinctively ducked behind me. I didn't move. My rifle lifted just a fraction. My eyes were ice. No warmth left. The urge to kill surged up in an instant. Thinks he can waltz into my turf? Steal my supplies? Take my safe house? He's signing his own death warrant. I smirked, leveling the rifle at him.
Yeah? Let me show you how things really work.
A bead of cold sweat traced down the man's temple.
You think that toy scares me?
Before he finished, I squeezed the trigger. He stared, wide-eyed, at the smoking muzzle.
I'm human. You actually.
He crumpled. Dark red blood pooled on the floor. Proof he wasn't a freak. But even if he was human, I don't take in strays. This place is mine. Mine alone. Anything that threatens my safety gets eliminated. I'll take out any threat. Tang Xiaoya didn't even complain about what I did. She just turned her head away.
So now we just wait for the last one, right?
I point towards the far corner of the hallway.
No need to wait. Someone was watching from the corner. That was the third visitor. He got scared off.
I go back to the room and lock the door. That's when the system chimes in my head.
Tonight's visitors have concluded their visits. Initiating shelter results calculation.
Since no new survivors joined, I still only get 100 credits. For now, food and water are okay. So I decide to just save the money. The credits hitting my account means tonight's crisis is over. My nerves, wound tight all night, finally start to unwind. Just as I close my eyes to sleep, knocking starts again. My scalp prickles. I don't want to get up. But that familiar mechanical voice cuts in.
Mysterious visitor has arrived. Owner, open the door within 10 seconds. Otherwise, the visitor will breach defenses.
I'm not volunteering to be the first casualty. I figure I'll get Tang Xiaoya to open it. I flick on a light. She's lying there, eyes rolled back in her head, passed out cold from fright. I curse, grab my gun, and roll off the bed. Slowly, I pull the door open.
I got a gun. Who the hell's out there, ruining my sleep?
A man's voice comes from above the door crack.
My apologies, sir, for disturbing your rest. However, I must insist you lower your weapon. And speak with me calmly.
I follow the sound upward. When I see who it is, my vision goes dark. It's a guy in a silver robe, 6 meters tall. Pale face, creepy smile plastered on it.
Mr. Liu, answer my question truthfully. Is there anyone else in your dwelling besides you?
Faced with this supernatural horror, the thought of fighting back doesn't even cross my mind. I just force myself to meet his gaze. There's a girl here, named Tang Xiaoya. The instant I finish speaking, his smile freezes solid.
How fortunate for you. I shall visit again in 2 days. I do hope that by then, your residence will host 2 or more occupants.
With that, the lanky figure vanishes down the hall. My heart was pounding with a delayed sense of terror. If I hadn't taken in Tang Xiaoya last night, the outcome waiting for me wouldn't have been pretty. Tonight's visitor redefined apocalypse intensity. Turns out, in the end times, there are these unfathomable horrors. I tossed and turned in bed, only closing my eyes as dawn approached. When I woke again, it was already dusk outside. I opened the comm channel. A homeowner named Zhao Kai was spamming messages.
To figure out what freaks really are, I deliberately let one into my house. Freaks have hazy memories of the distant past. They make basic, common-sense mistakes.
After Zhao Kai's info dump, the group chat exploded. Good people live safe lives. I quickly memorized this new method to spot freaks. 6 o'clock hit. The mechanical voice echoed in my mind.
Today, I proudly introduce a group of heroes. The Freak Cleanup Squad. Their researchers discovered that a freak's eyes become red and swollen. 3 visitors arrive tonight. Homeowners, be vigilant. The Freak Cleanup Squad fights on for humanity's survival. May you all live to see tomorrow.
I stared at the computer screen, deep in thought. A new identification method was announced today, which means the old one might already be obsolete. The freaks are evolving to evade detection. With the last 2 nights' experience, I wasn't as tense. I booted up the game and waited. Midnight finally came. A knock sounded at the door. Tang Xiaoya went over and cracked it open a sliver. A ragged old man stood outside the dorm.
Little girl, can you let me in? I can barely walk.
Hearing this, Tang Xiaoya nodded.
I can, but you'll have to endure a quick check first, Grandpa.
She raised a flashlight, shining it directly into the old man's eyes. Under the harsh light, his irises instantly clouded over into a murky gray. Seeing this, Tang Xiaoya slammed and locked the door.
That old man at the door, he's definitely a freak.
I patted Tang Xiaoya on the shoulder.
Good job. You're learning fast.
Her transformation filled me with a grim sort of pride. Sure, as the homeowner, taking in survivors benefits me. But of course, I'd rather take in someone useful. Time flew. It was 4 a.m., just over an hour until dawn. But tonight, we'd only had 1 visitor. I leaned back in my chair, eyes closed, just starting to doze off when the knocking sounds again. I snap alert. Grab my rifle, take cover behind the door like a damn ambusher. Tang Xiaoya cracks the door, open a sliver. She peers out and freezes for a second, because the last two visitors arrive together. A father and his daughter. The girl's hiding behind her dad, sobbing. The middle-aged man looks at Tang Xiaoya with pleading eyes.
This is my daughter, Xiao Wei. Do you have any space left? If you do, please, I'm begging you, take her in.
Hearing that, I walk to the doorway, rifle ready.
Space? Yeah, there's space. But anyone who wants in gets checked by me first.
The man nods and gives his daughter a gentle push forward.
We know the rules.
Tang Xiaoya shines light in Xiao Wei's eyes. Her whole eyeballs are bloodshot, swollen red. Tang Xiaoya looks at me, panic in her eyes.
Her eyes, they're red.
I swing my rifle muzzle toward Xiao Wei at the door.
You're a damn good actress, aren't you? Almost had me fooled.
Xiao Wei drops to a crouch, wailing in terror. Her father frantically waves his hands.
No way, man. Sir, there's gotta be some mistake.
Tang Xiaoya grabs my arm.
This girl, she's been crying since they got here. You think her eyes are just red from crying? She might not be one of them at all.
I stare at the two outside, running the rules through my head. The rules say they only start killing when there are two or more of them inside. Even if this Xiao Wei really is a freak, she'd have to just sit tight in the dorm. Once I figure that, I slowly lower the rifle. Xiao Wei's father lets out a shaky breath. He pats her head.
Go on, get inside with the others.
Daddy, he was going to shoot me. I don't want to.
But the man just shoves his still crying daughter through the doorway. Then he bows deeply to me.
Sir, I entrust her to you. I must find her mother. Can you tell me what happened? 2 days ago, we were hiding in a basement. Then my wife got a message on her comm, telling her to go to a place that takes survivors. She said she'd go check it out first. Come back for me and our daughter if it was safe. But ever since she left, we've been out of contact. It wasn't until tonight that my phone finally got the same message, telling me to come to South City Apartment 207 to seek your shelter. So we ran all the way here.
Hearing this, a storm raged inside me. So that's how the daily visitors are showing up. There's a bigger hand at play here, manipulating both the landlord's and the survivors' fates. But what's their endgame? I dismissed the thoughts and left, quietly waiting for today's settlement. Moments later, the computer announced the system. Day 3 settlement complete. Landlord Luja. Human shelter 2. Reward 200 credits. With one more person in the apartment now, I don't have to worry about the mysterious tall man's next visit. The immediate survival crisis is temporarily lifted. Time to start thinking long-term. I decided to head out and explore after sunrise tomorrow. I have no clue what dangers are out there after the apocalypse. If the apartment ever falls, at least I'll know where to run. After waking up, I open the comm channel to contact Zhao Kai. Venturing out is too risky. I need a reliable ally by my side to make sure I stay safe. And Zhao Kai, the madman who dared to invite freaks into his place, is the perfect candidate. I scrolled for Zhao Kai's avatar, then sent him a private message. Luja, you up, man? Got something important to discuss. He replied almost instantly. Zhao Kai, what's up, brother? Seeing this, I typed back. Luja, look, man. I'm planning to go out and scout tonight. Want to see if you're down to team up. 2 minutes of silence passed before a new message arrived. Zhao Kai could do it. But we don't know each other's locations. Luja, South City Apartment 207. Zhao Kai, no way, brother. I'm in South City Apartment 2, the underground parking lot guardhouse. We might actually be able to pull this off. A jolt of excitement hit me when I read it. Luja, then Zhao Kai. Let's meet at the community center garden at 3 p.m. I saw people gathering there the last couple days. Good chance to check out the situation. After getting his confirmation, I started my final preparations. After confirming the reply, I began making final preparations. About over 90 rounds left. This stuff is non-renewable. Every shot counts. 20 should be enough to carry. I slipped the ammo into my pants pocket for easy access. Just then, Tang Xiaoya walked over with a self-heating rice pack.
After today, we're out of rice.
I'm planning to scout the area today. Might be able to bring back some food.
Hearing this, Xiao Wei immediately looked at me with admiration. The daily mechanical voice chimed in right on schedule. But today it actually brought good news. The system, starting today, when you eliminate freaks trying to infiltrate your room, you will receive a 100 credit reward. After hearing this, a surge of relief washed over me. Before, killing freaks had no benefit. Every bullet spent felt like a waste. Now there's a credit reward for taking them out. Upgrading the shelter, buying supplies. We can speed things up by killing more freaks. When it was time to meet Zhao Kai, I slung the rifle over my shoulder and pulled open the apartment door.
If I don't return, find your resting place.
Tang Xiaoya nodded, tears welling in her eyes. She watched me leave, then shut the door. I made my way cautiously to the meeting point. The garden was a scene of carnage, bodies everywhere. Seeing this, I flicked off the rifle safety. What the hell could have done this to so many people? Right then, a voice cut through my thoughts. Luja, is it you? At the sound, I immediately looked toward its source. A young man holding a machete stood not far away. Luja, are you Zhao Kai? Zhao Kai, yeah, that's me. After Zhao Kai approached, we checked each other, confirming we were both human. Along the way, we saw plenty of free corpses, and the remains of survivors who hadn't been so lucky. The air reeked of blood, tightening my chest. Zhao Kai pointed to a nearby mall. A freak I knew said there's a lot of supplies in there. Let's scavenge for supplies and see if we can find any other survivors. I looked at the mall. Upstairs, someone just parted a curtain, peering down toward the garden. Gripping my gun tighter, I said, let's check it out. But after half an hour of searching with Zhao Kai, we hadn't found a single trace of other survivors. Rifle raised, I slowly advanced down the corridor. You think we got played by a freak? Zhao Kai scratched his head. That's a real possibility. Or maybe his memory scrambled. Let's check upstairs. Might find survivors. Get some intel on this place. We headed to the second floor. It was a scene of total destruction. Faint screams echoed in the distance. Another dead end. Just as I thought we'd come up empty. I spotted a closed door at the end of the hall. I pressed against the wall. Careful. Could be someone inside. Zhao Kai hit his blade and knocked. Anyone in there? We're just exploring. If you can hear us, open up. No. Answer? We're coming in. Silence hung for a few seconds. I stepped forward and put a round through the lock. Then I kicked the door open. A woman's corpse lay before us. Steadying myself, I scanned the room. It was stocked with food and water. She must have died by accident, but no sign of any freaks. That's when it hit me. That tall, pale guy from 2 days ago. He might have been here. According to the prompt, he kills safe house owners who don't take others in. I looked at the woman's brutalized body. She was killed by that pale man. The words barely left my mouth when the pale man's voice came from behind me.
You're sharp, Mr. Liu.
My blood ran cold. I turned. The tall, pale man stood there, smiling at me. I swallowed hard.
What are you doing here?
He kept smiling, his eyes fixed on me.
Just visiting the safe house owners in this building. Hence my presence. It's dangerous out there. I'd advise you to stay in your own safe house, sir.
I couldn't read his game, but I braced for the worst. My grip tightened on the gun.
Don't worry about my business.
The pale man paused, taken aback, but the smile never left his face.
By the way, Mr. Luja, I noticed many owners today. They're hunting freaks now. Has shifted a bit. My creator is not pleased. So starting tomorrow, the freaks will be directly assaulting shelters. I won't disturb Mr. John's little adventure any longer. I'll see you at your dorm door later.
Pale man finished and just vanished. I didn't even have time to process his words before. Zhao Kai's voice cut through my thoughts.
Luja! Move! Damn it!
I snapped back to reality, staring at him blankly. He let out a sigh of relief.
Dude, you can't scare me like that. You just froze up after talking. I thought you were possessed or something.
I let out a bitter laugh.
Close enough.
But something else felt off. Zhao Kai had been guarding the door. He never saw that tall, skinny guy leave. Does it teleport? I decided to tell him about it later. Focus on the now. I pointed at the food in the room. Time's up. Let's grab everything from this room first. We'll hit a supermarket another day. Zhao Kai nodded. My thoughts exactly. We started packing. The girls' room had a decent stash. We ended up with 2 full bags. My backpack was stuffed to the brim. Zhao Kai found a tote bag and hauled the other half. Humming, I headed for the door, ready to leave, when I caught faint footsteps in the hallway. I swung my flashlight beam down the corridor. What I saw made my blood run cold. I thought it was empty. The light proved me wrong. A horde of freaks packed the hallway. The ones caught in the light had pupils, either clouded with gray mist or glowing blood red. I froze for a split second, then spun and ran. Run! I yelled back at Zhao Kai. Now! The hall's crawling with freaks. No sooner had I spoken than a figure stumbled right into me. I raised my gun and fired. The freak's head and shoulder exploded in a mist. The gunshot was like a dinner bell. The rest of the horde outside surged toward us. It was like a high school stampede for the cafeteria. Escaping through the hallway was impossible. Zhao Kai threw the window open. He jumped from the second floor. I gritted my teeth. I jumped right after him. We immediately bolted for our own buildings. Didn't even have time for a goodbye. Freaks poured from the windows like dumplings. My hair stood on end. I cursed and kept sprinting toward my dorm. The freaks were about 1,000 meters behind me. Thankfully, I wasn't some desk jockey. For a fit college guy, this distance was supposed to be doable, but after just 5 minutes, I felt like my lungs were going to explode. I'm dying. Move, legs. The freaks were closing in behind me. Good thing this rifle isn't just for show. Every time I got too close, I'd fire a couple shots behind me. By the time my ammo was almost gone, I finally reached the dorm. I looked up. Tang Xiaoya was waving from the balcony. Luja, grab the rope. There are freaks inside the building. Don't use the stairs. Hearing that, I immediately tied the rope around my waist. Tang Xiaoya grabbed the rope tight, and she looked at Xiao Wei beside her. Help me pull. Now. The two of them pulled with all their might, hauling me up. The freaks below could only watch, furious. The relief of survival made me laugh. I gave the ones below a classic one-finger salute. Try and get a Grandpa Lou. Go train for another 2 years. But then, as I was steadily rising, I suddenly felt weightless. I looked up at the balcony in panic. What the hell are you two doing up there? Tang Xiaoya immediately stuck her head over the railing. Sorry, Luja. Someone's breaking down the door out here. Xiao Wei and I got startled. Hearing that, I couldn't wait for their slow pull. I started climbing the rope myself. Pull me up. Hurry. Let me see what's going on. After all, the tall guy said the freaks would attack directly. Couldn't let my guard down now. Once I tumbled over the railing, Tang Xiaoya rushed over. Luja, are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? I ignored her concern. I rushed straight for my locker. Forget that. Let me see what's at the door. After reloading, I charged straight for the door. Even though the original doors and windows had been reinforced, they couldn't hold up against the sustained assault. Just as I was about to check the situation, an axe blade smashed right through the door. It startled me at first, but seeing that hole in the door, I just snapped. Who the hell has a chopping addiction? Couldn't you control yourselves a little? I spent 100 credits upgrading this door. You sons of bitches are paying for it. After that, I aimed through the hole at the outside. A burst of gunfire later, and it was silent out there. Green blood started seeping in under the door. I peered through the hole. The area was a mess. But the threat was gone. Only then did I slump to the floor, exhausted. Xiao Wei, seeing the murderous look on me, didn't dare move. But Tang Xiaoya rushed right over. Luja, are you okay? I shook my head. I'm fine. Just tired. I'm gonna grab a shower. You hold the fort here. After I'm done. The apartment was spotless, cleaned by the two girls. Since I'd just taken out a bunch of freaks, I figured I'd check the owner panel, see if there was a reward. Sure enough, a few lines appeared on the screen. The system. Tonight's visitors have concluded their visit. Settling day, 4 protection results. Owner, Luja, protected. 2, freaks terminated. 8, reward, 800 credits. 2 kill packs. I tallied the kill count. Only the freaks trying to break the door down counted for the reward. I clicked on the kill pack description. Special reward for terminating freaks. Opening may yield random rewards. Got it. It's loot dropped from mobs. I immediately opened the owner panel. Click to open one of the packs. The system. Congratulations. You obtained 1 upgrade card. Free upgrade for any item to the next level. My heart leapt. This is good stuff. But using it on the door feels like a waste. Better save it for later. Then I opened the other pack. This time, I got some basic construction materials. Not bad either. I thought about the threats we might face. Just reinforcing the door isn't enough. Need to boost the safe house's counterattack capability. With that, I opened the market option. Started digging through the market categories. Then I spotted it in the market, the turret option. I clicked it open. Inside were all sorts of active defense weapons. Everything from manually operated ballista towers to fully automated artillery turrets. They had it all. The higher the turret's tier, the more resources and credits it cost. And on top of that, installing a turret had mandatory requirements. The most important one was the building's floor area. Not enough space. No way you're installing an advanced turret. Otherwise, one shot fired. Who knows if it'll kill the freaks. But it'd definitely bring my dorm crashing down. Right now, the only thing I could build was a simple ballista turret. I opened its description. Simple ballista turret. Requires 1 operator, 1 loader. Effective against unarmored targets. Materials to build it cost roughly 2,000 credits. Luckily, I just pulled a bunch of materials from that starter pack. I only had to top up another 600 credits. And I could get this ballista turret built. After that, I used the remaining 500 credits to upgrade the doors and windows. Upgrade successful. Installation commencing. As the system's prompt echoed, a construction racket erupted outside. The apartment door was replaced by a heavy steel door. The peephole became an observation slit, and there were weapon ports to fire through. I turned to Tang Xiaoya, thrilled. This feels way more secure than the old door. No more having to risk my neck checking on visitors. Tang Xiaoya puffed up her cheeks and glared at me. When did you ever risk your neck? It was always me who opened the door. I patted her head gently. Don't sweat the small stuff. Then I opened the inventory panel. Install ballista turret. A full half-hour later, the ballista turret was finally complete. The moment it finished, the system's voice rang out in the dorm. Congratulations, host. Dorm defense level upgraded to tier 3. Host now possesses the capacity to shelter additional survivors. Daily survivor settlement reward increased by 100 credits. My eyes went wide. There's a bonus for upgrading? Starting tomorrow, for every survivor I shelter, I'll get 200 credits at settlement. Xiao Wei and Tang Xiaoya were overjoyed too. Tang Xiaoya threw herself at me, planting a big, loud kiss on my cheek. Lu Zhiji, you're amazing. Xiao Wei walked up to me quietly. Thank you. I'll find a way to repay you. I just grinned. Just don't come for me later. After I fully upgrade the dorm, I finally get my first visitor. Settlement's done. Someone's knocking. I know it's the tall, pale guy. I slide open the peephole on the main door. The pale guy's face is right there, pressed against it. He stares at me, unblinking. Mr. Luja, I have a question for you. Answer truthfully. Inside your dwelling, are there 2 or more survivors beside yourself? I try not to look at his terrifying face. Yes. Another girl, 18 years old. The smile vanishes from the pale man's face. You're quite the lucky man, aren't you? I hope your luck holds next time. I'll be back in 2 days. By then, you need a minimum of 4 survivors in your dwelling. Survival will only get harder from here. You try to stay alive until we meet again. The pale man leaves after that. He's gone, I slump relieved. Tang Xiaoye peeks from the side room. Brother Luge, where the hell did that ghost-faced man come from? He's terrifying. I shake my head. I don't know either, but he feels like some kind of inspector. He checks if homeowners are meeting his quotas. And those who fail get terminated. Tang Xiaoye looks at me, her face full of worry. What if his demands keep getting higher and higher until we can't meet them? I sigh. I don't know either. And I shift my tone. But I think there has to be a way. As long as we're breathing, we still have a chance. My place can be upgraded. Someday, it'll be upgraded enough that even the freaks can't break through the defenses. We might just hold out until this whole damn apocalypse is over. As soon as I finish speaking, Tang Xiaoye throws herself at me. Brother Luge, with you saying that, I'm not scared anymore. Xiaowei and I both believe in you. After a long, exhausting day, we're all dead tired. Protected by the upgraded dwelling, I managed to get a rare, decent night's sleep. The next morning, I sit on the couch as usual, scrolling through the comm channel logs. I type a message. You guys still alive out there? Feels like nobody's talking in the group anymore. Only a few homeowners respond. Homeowner A. Maybe it's because most of them are dead. Homeowner B. Well, the lucky ones, I guess. Homeowner C. Yeah, pretty much. I checked the A-sector homeowner group in the comm channel. 7 out of 10 profiles and they're already dark. Only about 30-something left are still breathing. At least Zhao Kai's icon is still lit up. Right then, he popped up in the group too. Whatever happens, everyone just try your damn hardest to stay alive. The daily broadcast is about to start. Let's focus on business. As the clock hit 6, the broadcast began right on time. That same icy, mechanical voice kicked in. Just hearing that sound makes me sick now. Hearing it means the nightmare's still on. Everyone's still got to struggle through this hellscape. Survivors, long time no see. After yesterday's announcement about rewards for killing freaks, did any of you give it a shot? Kill leaderboards posted in owner groups soon. See if you made the cut. And today, I've got another piece of good news for you all. The Freak Cleanup Squad has completed preliminary research on the freaks. Starting today, our heroes will begin deep reconnaissance into each zone. Owners, do not panic if you see Cleanup Squad personnel. Cooperate fully with their investigations. Resistance will be punished. Hearing this, Xiao Wei turned to look at me. Beside us, Tang Xiaowei couldn't hold back a cheer. That's amazing, Luge. Did you hear that? The Cleanup Squad is coming. Are we saved? I shook my head. Don't get your hopes up. Where did Freak Cleanup Squad come from? Never heard of them. Don't go painting them as some kind of saviors. The only thing that can save us right now is this dorm we're holed up in. Everything else is useless. Even if they show up, I doubt they'll solve anything. I don't have a good feeling about this Cleanup Squad. If they really wanted to save people, they would have shown up when this all started. Why wait until now? And what part are they playing in this whole apocalypse? I have no clue. They might have created the freaks. Not surprising. Then I turned my attention back to the system. Next, it dropped another bombshell. Based on the latest findings from the Freak Cleanup Squad, new identifying traits for freaks have been confirmed. Some freaks have replaced humans who died from high-temperature burns, so they will bear burn marks on their bodies. Today, there will be 5 visitors. Owners, be extremely thorough during screening. With that, the mechanical voice faded. The kill list for Zone A freaks just popped up in the comm channel. I took a look. No surprise, really. My 6 kills from yesterday put me at the top. I'd expected that, so it wasn't a shock. But the second place wasn't Zhao Kai. That's what caught my attention. Wang Ping. I've never heard that name before. Anyone who's ever spoken in the group chat, I have at least a memory of him. Could this guy have been lurking this whole time? Not saying a single word. Just then, Xiao Wei, standing by the balcony, stared down below. She seemed to have spotted something. Stop chatting, you two. Get over here and look at the square below. There's a bunch of people in hazmat suits with guns on their backs. Tang Xiaowei and I immediately rushed to the balcony and looked down. The square, once littered with corpses, now had 7 or 8 pickup trucks parked on it. Dozens of soldiers in hazmat suits, rifles slung on their backs, were getting out of the vehicles. They were loading the surrounding bodies onto the trucks. Soon, the square wasn't such a horrifying sight anymore. I wasn't the only one seeing this. Other survivors, spotting the soldiers below, erupted into cheers. Some gathered at their windows, waving and shouting. Others even ran straight downstairs to welcome their supposed saviors. Seeing this, Xiao Wei started to get up to cheer too. What are you doing? Xiao Wei tried to pry my arm off, looking at me with naive eyes. Why are you stopping me? Aren't these the Free Cleanup Squad? They came here to save us, right? Who said they're here to save anyone? Even before all this, you couldn't trust everything on the news. Now we're in the apocalypse, and you're still this naive? Hearing me say that, Xiaowei finally calmed down a little. But this 18-year-old girl had a rebellious streak in her bones. She was still arguing. I don't think that's possible, is it? Wasn't the way to identify freaks something they discovered? If they're not here to save people, then why do they come all the way here? I let out a cold laugh. Good question. Where they get so many normals and freaks? To complete their research in the first place, that shut Xiaowei up completely. A storm of realization was raging inside her. I shoved Xiaowei into the dorm and slammed the window shut. You got a lot to learn and accept. If you want to live under my roof, you got to pull your own weight. I handed Xiaowei the stack of dinner plates from everyone. Starting today, all the chores in this dorm are your responsibility. You just got here, so you get a couple days to adjust. I can let you freeload for a bit, but if you think you can keep getting food without working for it, you can get the hell out. I'm not cutting her any slack just cause she's pretty. If you want shelter and protection, you earn it with sweat. Xiaowei stared at the plates in her hands, stunned. She'd never done a day of chores in her life. Tang Xiaoya sighed. She stepped forward to take the plates. I'll do it. Just watch me first, then you'll know how. I raised a hand to stop her. No, let her do it. I wasn't giving Xiaowei any chance to slack off. Time to break that princess attitude. Xiaowei huffed, grabbed the plates, and stomped to the sink. Fine, I'll do it. I turned back to the computer. Most safe house owners, like me, chose to wait and watch. Our main focus was just surviving the night. Tonight, we had 5 visitors, the most since the apocalypse began. I played on the computer and waited. Around 11 p.m., the first knock came. Tang Xiaoya went to the door and slid open to people. Hello. If you wish to enter, you must submit to inspection. Please open your mouth first. Before she could finish, she saw the person at the door grinning, baring his teeth. They were unnaturally, perfectly aligned. His eyes were bloodshot, the irises like swirling gray mist. The moment the people opened, his hand shot inside. Try to reach the lock from within. Tang Xiaoya stumbled back, falling to the floor. Brother Luja, it's a freak. Hearing that, I ran behind the ballista turret. Got it. I'm on it. This time, I'd let the turret handle this freak. Rifle ammo is precious. The market hasn't opened for ammo purchases yet. Probably my defense rating isn't high enough. Some items are still locked. I aimed the ballista turret through the peephole. Operating the turret wasn't hard. She opened the weapon port. The freak's chest is wide open. The freak notices the door has a gap. It bends down, curious, to peek inside. A bolt streaks towards its face. A perfect shot, right between the freak's eyes. Even the hardest human bone, the skull, is nothing against the ballista turret. The bolt punches clean through. The freak's body slumps, after clearing the corpse. I'm weighing whether to let anyone in tonight. That pale, lanky guy is checking in tomorrow night. The dorm needs to house 4 survivors, minimum. That means we need 2 more. Hope we get lucky. To send some human survivors already. I'm praying. Reality doesn't cooperate. By 3 a.m., I've had 4 visitors. All freaks. 3 didn't even bother pretending, just tried to smash the door. 1 tried to sneak in. I put a bolt through it. I'm guarding the door, worried. If tomorrow's like today, we're done. Better to die out there than wait here to be slaughtered. Tang Xiaoya tries to reassure me, but she's just as anxious. Xiaowei is too tense to even speak. Then the door knocks for the 5th time. We all take a deep breath. Everyone's hoping this last visitor is a normal survivor. Tang Xiaoya walks to the door, opens the peephole. Same script. We have space. Submit to inspection if you want in. A man's voice replies. No problem. We know the drill. Tang Xiaoya shines her flashlight out. A man and a woman are standing in the hall. They're young, early 20s. The girl hides behind her boyfriend, eyeing Tang Xiaoya. But when Tang Xiaoya sees them, she looks like she's seen a ghost. She turns to me. Luja, we have a problem. 2 people at once. I'm stunned. I rush to the peephole. She's right. 2. The guy at the door sees me and Tang Xiaoya, forcing a sickeningly sweet smile. Hey man, sis, my girl and I came together. Is that an issue? Can't your place handle both of us? I wave him off. Not that. Hold on. I close the peephole. Pull Tang Xiaoya to crouch in the corner. Wait, did I remember wrong? Let me ask you something. On today's news, didn't they say there were 5 visitors? Tang Xiaoya nodded seriously. I remember 5 too. We both looked at Xiaowei. Xiaowei nodded. Yeah, I heard 5. I scratched my head. That's messed up. Today's visitors came in groups. Not like yesterday's freaks trying to break in. They came in one wave. So by that logic, it should have been exactly 5 people, right? Why are there 2 outside? What's the deal? Buy 1, get 1 free? Tang Xiaoya was puzzling over it too. He voiced his idea. Brother Luja, you think maybe the news got it wrong? Maybe the 5 meant 5 groups of people. And this last group just happens to be 2. Xiaowei stood up to object. That doesn't add up either. My dad and I came together. We were both counted as visitors then. Tang Xiaoya rubbed his chin. Maybe as time goes on, the info on the news gets glitchy. I nodded, accepting Tang Xiaoya's theory. Could be. Hold on, don't panic. I'll go ask. I remembered the comm channel wouldn't be muted tonight. I immediately asked if anyone else had seen this. Not only did no one have a similar situation, my message spread panic through the group. The importance of the daily system news is obvious to us safe house owners. Hell, you could say, we owners survive on the info the news provides. Now telling them the news can't be trusted. What are they supposed to believe? For a moment, I didn't know how to handle the two at the door. To deal with the tall, pale guy's inspection, to let them in or take them out, I couldn't decide. Just then, the knocking came again. The guy outside was getting impatient. Hey man, if you're not going to let us in, my girl and I are going to bounce. It'll be dawn soon. If we don't find a safe house, we're dead. I sighed, ready to let the young couple go. I'd have to pin my hopes on tomorrow. Just as I slid the viewport open again, ready to send them on their way, a burst of crackling static cut through the air. Hand crank radio. Intel is wrong. There's an extra person. Some of them have breached our perimeter. Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei's eyes widen. They both stare at the hand crank radio on the bookshelf. That radio, which I'd always thought was just a decoration, is suddenly picking up a broken signal. Tang Xiaoya grabs my arm in shock. Brother Luja, this radio is talking about what happened to us today. I can tell. I'm just as surprised. I never thought this thing could still pick up a signal. Guess I'll have to figure it out tomorrow. My focus shifts back to the couple at the door. If what the radio says is true, then the overcapacity issue wasn't just my problem. It was bad intel from the Freak Cleanup Squad. In that case, I've got nothing to fear. I could just treat these two as normal survivors for screening. With that thought, I look at the two outside. You two don't have to leave. I've got room for both of you. But before you come in, you gotta pass inspection. The guy's face lights up with relief. Then you better hurry. Dawn's almost here. I flick on my flashlight. I know the drill. Don't rush me. Hands out. Let me check your fingers. They hold hands and stick them through the slot. First check, they barely pass. I shine the light in their eyes. Everything looks normal there too. Final step. Both of you strip everything off except the bare essentials. The guy points at me, furious. What kind of inspection is this? You just want to get a look at my girl, don't you? No way. I haven't even seen her like that yet. You think you get to? I roll my eyes at him, pissed. I've got two female survivors in my dorm right now. Both are way hotter than your girlfriend. The guy's still red-faced, arguing. Still not happening. We're not staying here. We'll find another shelter owner to take us in. Lun Yan, let's go. He finishes and tries to pull his girlfriend away. But Lun Yan yanks her hand free. Wang Ming, are you insane? Dawn's almost here. Where the hell else can we go? You want to go get yourself killed? Be my guest. I'm staying right here. After saying that, Lun Yan starts pulling off her tank top. I can't help but think. She seems kind of practiced at this. Wang Ming doesn't dare argue with Lun Yan anymore. Tears welled up her eyes as she pulled off her own shirt. There wasn't much to look at with Wang Ming's physique. Pretty much skin and bones, but that's about normal. But Lun Yan's body, that's a whole other story. When she finally bared herself, I realized I'd underestimated her. But when I saw Lun Yan's back, I spotted a dark patch. My guard shot right back up. What's that black mark on your back? Wang Ming and Lun Yan, each with a distinct mark. If we're both freaks, if I let them inside. Once the freak count in this dorm hits 2 or more, they start killing. Lun Yan turned her head to look at me. She touched the mark on her back. It's a birthmark. I've had it since I was a kid. Wang Ming beside her looked at Lun Yan in surprise. Babe, you had a birthmark back there? I never knew. Lun Yan rolled her eyes. Duh, you've never seen it. Of course you didn't know. I cut off their little chat. Prove it. Prove it's a birthmark. Lun Yan was silent for a moment, then sighed. I don't have any childhood photos saved, so I can't give you proof. But it really is a birthmark. I even had a laser treatment for it once. Back when I was about 6. Hearing that, I remembered Zhao Kai's old test. Freaks usually don't remember distant memories. The further back a memory is from when they were replaced, the fuzzier it gets. I stared dead serious at Lun Yan. You know that old ad, the leopard chasing the woman? Tell me, why was the leopard chasing her? Lun Yan and Wang Ming both froze. Lun Yan looked at me cautiously. The cough syrup? I unlocked the door. Correct. Get in, both of you. The apartment only has 2 rooms. You're late. You sleep in the living room. The moment he heard living room, Wang Ming immediately looked unhappy. But he didn't say anything. But Lun Yan spotted the bed in the master bedroom. There's still a spot. I can just sleep there. I shook my head flat out. No, you're not worthy. The master bedroom is mine. You don't get to sleep there. Lun Yan glanced down at the rifle in my hands, then at the ballista turret by the door, and pouted. Fine. So when we get closer, can we share a bed then? She really emphasized the word bed. Lun Yan deliberately made her tone heavier. I kept a straight face, looking at her. We'll see. Lun Yan blinked at me. All right, big brother. But I'm scared to sleep alone. I hope you let your guard down around me soon. When that time comes, I promise you'll be satisfied with me. After saying that, Lun Yan walked to the living room. When the door closed, I shuddered. Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei watched Lun Yan from the side, mouthing silently. That two-faced be asterisk TCH. Then, after waiting about half an hour, the sky outside began to lighten. The computer chimed with a settlement alert. The system. Settlement initiated. Host Luja. Humans sheltered. 4. Reward. 800 credits. Hearing that, the weight finally lifted from my chest. I could finally get some rest. The next afternoon, I started thinking about the food problem again. The supplies I brought back last time would have lasted us 5 days, but with 2 extra mouths, it'll only last 3 days now. After it's gone, do we go out scavenging, or just buy from the market? I was weighing the options. The outside is crawling with danger, but it's not like there's no human activity on the surface. What about the freak cleanup squads? So on that point, I'm leaning towards gathering outside. Save the precious credits for upgrading the safe house. So I made my decision. After tonight's check by the Pale Man, I'll take Zhao Kai out again tomorrow. The Pale Man's visit came a quarter hour early. Not a single footstep in the hallway. A white face pressed against the viewport. His icy gaze swept over the 4 people in the apartment. No extra words. Just a cold glance at me before dropping the line. 2 days. 6 people. Then he vanished as silently as he came. After he left, the tension in the apartment remained thick. Wang Ming was curled in a corner of the sofa, face full of terror. Lun Yan leaned against the wall, calm. I looked at Tang Xiaoyue and Xiao Wei and gave the order. First thing tomorrow, Zhao Kai and I are heading out for supplies and to scout for survivors we can take in. You two hold down the apartment. Screw up, and you know what happens. Wang Ming spoke up timidly. Well, what about us? I can help too. Lun Yan kicked him. Well, I'll keep watch. Just when you're out there, brother, be careful. Bring back as much as you can. I didn't answer her, turning to enter the bedroom. I sorted the ammo and checked the rifle again. Only then did I lie down. At first light, I was out the door with my pack. As agreed earlier with Zhao Kai, we met at the central garden of the complex. The bodies in the garden had been cleared by the freak cleanup squad, leaving only dark red stains and a pungent stench of blood. Zhao Kai was leaning against a dead tree, his machete gleaming in his hand. Seeing me, he grinned, showing a row of white teeth. That damn thing come for you again last night? I got the notice too. 5 people in 2 days. The bar keeps getting higher. I clapped his shoulder. Let's move, I said as we walked. We headed for the large mall outside the complex, our agreed destination from last night. The mall had supplies in abundance, enough to feed everyone in the apartment for a good while. What do you make of the freak cleanup squad? They cleared the garden yesterday. A lot of residents went down to join them. Zhao Kai's face darkened. He spat. A bunch of shady bastards. They hauled bodies to a warehouse last night. Wasn't disposal. Looked more like they were taking them for research. I bet they're connected to the freaks showing up. His words matched my own suspicions. I nodded. We stayed alert, avoiding several packs of roaming freaks. They seemed smarter than before. Some even learned to ambush from hallways. We worked well together. I provided rifle cover. Zhao Kai used his machete. We pushed through. We'd taken down 3 freaks. The system's chime of credits earned. It was the sweetest sound in this hellscape. Half an hour later, we finally reached them all. The security shutter was half down, darkness inside, seeping out a cold, ominous air. Shopping carts lay scattered at the entrance, along with a few free corpses. Their dark green blood pooled on the ground. Zhao Kai and I exchanged a look. He hefted his machete and ducked inside first. I followed with my rifle raised, flashlight on. The place was a wreck. Shelves toppled, snacks everywhere. The air was thick with a rancid stench of spoiled food. I swept my flashlight around the room. Suddenly, I spotted a faint figure crouched behind a shelf. It was huddled there, trembling. I shouted, rifle aimed at the shape. Who's there? The figure flinched in fright. It looked up, revealing a face streaked with tears. A woman in her 20s, clutching a little girl to her chest. A girl, 5 or 6, faces smudged with grime, eyes wide in terror. Please, don't shoot. We're human. Zhao Kai stepped forward. He checked her fingernails and eyes. He shook his head. They're clean. No mutation. She relaxed, a shaky breath escaping. She hugged the little girl and began to sob uncontrollably. My name's Lin Wan. This is my little sister, Yin Yin. Hiding for 3 days. Freaks are everywhere. We couldn't leave. I looked at the sisters, an idea sparking. 2 people. Exactly 2. If we took them in, we'd hit the lanky pale guy's quota of 6. I crouched down, meeting Lil Yin Yin's eyes. Come with me? I have a safe house. I can protect you. Lin Wan blinked, processing. Then she nodded frantically. Her eyes lit up like she'd just seen a lifeline. Yes, we'll go with you. Zhao Kai and I started gathering supplies. Lin Wan, still holding Yin Yin, helped where she could. The little girl was quiet, not a peep or fuss. She clung to her sister, peeking with wary eyes. The supermarket had more loot than we'd hoped. I stuffed 2 backpacks full. Crackers, cans, bottled water. This would keep everyone in the apartment going for a good 2 weeks. Back at the apartment, Tang Xiaoyu and Xiao Wei saw the 2 newcomers and the bulging backpacks. Relief and joy washed over their faces as they rushed to help. Wang Ming and Lun Yan came over too. Seeing Lin Wan and the child, Lun Yan's lips twitched, but he kept his mouth shut. With 6 people now, the apartment felt cramped. A little hard to move around, but at least we met the pale guy's sick requirement. For now, survival trumped comfort. We could deal with being packed in. Tang Xiaoyu came up beside me, handed me a water bottle. What's the plan now? That monster. Next time he might ask for more people. I drank, gazing at the blood-red moon. My resolve hardened. We hold this apartment. We defend it. We need to find more survivors and upgrade our defenses. Whether it's the freaks or that pale, lanky bastard, If they want my people, they'll have to go through me first. Just then, a knock echoed at the door. I froze. Checked the time. Exactly midnight. This is when everyone should be sleeping. Who the hell is knocking? How the freaks evolved to make house calls in broad daylight. Cautiously, I slid open the door's peephole cover. Two figures in hazmat suits stood outside, armed. It's the freak cleanup squad. One of them spoke. Tomorrow, we're taking one of your people. This is your notice. I was stunned. Why should I hand anyone over? This isn't a request. It's an order. Refuse. He gestured with his rifle. And we won't be so polite. They turned and left. I shut the peephole and called you. Try to reach Zhang Kai. See what's happening on his end. Sent a few messages. No reply. Waited. Nothing. A cold dread settled in. Did something happen to him? Tang Xiaoyue brought me a cup of instant noodles. Even though I brought back 2 full backpacks of food, our numbers keep growing. We have to ration. Every scrap counts. I told Tang Xiaoyue to give everyone 1 bottle of water and either noodles or a piece of bread. Yin Yin's a kid, still growing. So she got an extra pack of crackers. I ate my noodles, my mind racing. The free cleanup squad wants someone tomorrow. But I need every person I have for that Pale Creek tonight. If I give someone up during the day, what happens when he shows up after dark? My head was pounding when I heard soft crying from nearby. I walked over. What's wrong? Yin Yin was sobbing on the couch. Lun Yin stood beside her, holding a pack of crackers. She saw me and blurted out, "Big bro, I was still hungry." Saw the kid wasn't eating her crackers, so I thought I'd help. Unbelievable. You're not pulling your weight, freeloading, and now you're stealing food from a child? Wang Ming chimed in from the side. Yin Yin was hungry too. Maybe you could spare a little more food? I almost laughed. Do these people have any idea what world this is? You think it's like before? Food just lying around. A quick trip to the supermarket? I ignored Wang Ming and stared straight at Lun Yin. Tonight's visitors, you're on inspection duty. Nobody eats for free on my watch. Lun Yin heard that and sidled up. Brother, are you checking the visitors with me? I shoved her away. You're on your own. After that, I walked over to Yin Yin. I said to Lin Wan, who was holding her, you wouldn't fight back against the freaks. And you won't fight back when people push you around either? Lin Wan looked at me, her eyes reddening. Headache. Back to bed. Just then, Tang Xiaoya came in. Brother Lu, who are you planning to hand over tomorrow? I patted her head. We don't know what this free cleanup squad is all about yet. They haven't said why they want someone or what for. But, don't worry. No matter what, I won't be handing you over. Only then did she relax and leave. Night fell in the blink of an eye. I had Tang Xiaoya keep an eye on Lun Yin, just in case she got any bright ideas about letting freaks in. Xiao Wei manned the ballista turret. I told them to coordinate. I opened the system's comm channel, all discussing handing someone over tomorrow. Owner, hey, where did this free cleanup squad even come from? Anyone know? Owner B, gotta hand someone over tomorrow. You other owners made your pick yet? Owner C, just hand someone over because they say so? Screw that. What are they gonna do if we don't? I'll look closely. After these past few days, only about 20-some owners were showing as online now. Messages kept flooding in. Still no reply from Zhang Kai in my private messages. Then, Tang Xiaoya called out. Brother Lu, I hurried out of the bedroom. What is it? Tang Xiaoya was wiping sweat from her face. The freaks visiting tonight, they're acting weird. Stronger than yesterday. A lot more aggressive too. My heart sank. The freaks were evolving faster than I thought. I stepped outside the room. I saw Lun Yin sitting on the floor by the door, clutching her arm and shaking, muttering to herself. So scary. I shot a questioning look at Tang Xiaoya while she was checking one of the freaks. One of them grabbed Lun Yin, but Xiao Wei took it out. Tang Xiaoya gave a dismissive shrug. Lun Yin just got spooked. I checked the door and found the steel plate. Had several new dents. This is level 3 defense. For them to do this much damage, we need to upgrade fast. If we can't keep up with their evolution speed, we're dead. It's only a matter of time before the freaks break down the door. Suddenly, Lun Yin grabs onto my leg. Big bro, give me another job. No more screaming. I try to shake my leg, but she's gripping too tight. Can't shake her. So you'd rather scavenge outside? Lun Yin shakes her head. They want to kill freaks? To earn me credits? Lun Yin shakes her head again. I kick her away. You won't do this. You won't do that. You're getting picky now? Wang Ming sees me kick Lun Yin away. He rushes over to help her up. Hey, what the hell are you doing? How could you treat my baby like that? I raise an eyebrow at him. What? You got a problem? Wang Ming hesitates. We can talk this out, can't we? He then whispers to Lun Yin. Let's go over there. Just ignore him. If it weren't for Pale Guy's requirement on head count, I wouldn't even have let them pass the door. Daybreak finally comes. System's familiar settlement chime rings. The system. Settlement initiated. Homeowner. Luja. Human sheltered. 6. Reward. 800 credits. Elimination bonus. 400 credits. Elimination loot packs. Asterisk 2. Seeing the elimination bonus, a surge of excitement hits me. Xiao Wei was manning the ballista turret tonight. I didn't expect that to count for the reward. Is it because it's a system-issued ballista turret? I'll have to test that theory later. But then I look up, confused. My eyes land on Lin Wan and Lin Yin Yin. Why didn't I get credits for sheltering these two? Judging by the head count, they're clearly real people. I notice a red exclamation mark on the system interface. I tap on it. Warning. Safe house shelter capacity exceeded. Shelter level requires upgrade. Shelter level requires upgrade. Note, higher safe house comfort increases settlement credits. It finally clicks. So the safe house has a limit on how many people it can protect. Looking around, this place is way too cramped. Forget about comfort level. We can't even all move around in the living room at once. I pull up the system and check my account balance. Not enough credits. I have 2 urgent priorities now. 1. Upgrade the safe house defenses as soon as possible. 2. Increase the safe house's shelter capacity. And if I boost the comfort level, I can even get more credits. So if I have enough people, the credits will keep flowing in daily. Boosting defenses can wait until tomorrow or the day after, when I have more credits. With that in mind, open market upgrade, chose expand dwelling, and added a main bedroom and a side room. The house gave a slight shudder from the area next to the new rooms. The sound of construction echoed. It was like an invisible wall blocking the air. After waiting about half an hour, the construction noises stopped simultaneously. I saw a new door next to the original bedroom and side room. Entered new rooms, each 50 SQ feet larger. Bought and placed 4 beds per room. Then bought 8 small side tables to go beside them. I'll hold off on buying anything else for now. Right now, just having a clean bed to lie on is a luxury. Labeled original rooms, bedroom 1, side room 1. The new ones became bedroom 2 and side room 2. Wang Ming looked at the new additions and said happily, "The baby and I can move in here, right?" I nodded. "This room is for you two, and you too." I pointed at Wang Ming and Lun Yin, then at Lin Wan and Yin Yin. All 4 of you are sharing. Lun Yin pouted. "Brother, it's so crowded. I want to stay with you. Or at least let me have side room 2. I looked at her calmly. "If you don't want a bed, the living room floor is still available." Lun Yin reluctantly entered bedroom 2. I headed back to bedroom 1 to sleep, but saw Xiao Wei standing at my door, clearly waiting for me. "What is it?" Xiao Wei wrung her hands, looking anxious. Seeing her like that, I opened the door. "Come in. Talk." Once inside, she rushed to say, "I'm pretty good with the ballista turret now." I nodded. "You're a fast learner. So, does that mean I'm contributing?" Now I understood her real question. I teased her. "Weren't you planning to join the free cleanup squad before? This might be your chance. Who knows what they really want people for? But I bet the perks are better than here. You might even get your own room." Before I could finish, I saw tears well up in Xiao Wei's eyes and fall. "I don't want to go. I'll learn to do more. I promise. Don't hand me over." I asked with a smile. "If you can't bear to part with me, then I won't go." Xiao Wei's face flushed. She stomped her foot and ran off. "I want to stay here." After Xiao Wei left, I lay on the bed thinking. Freak Squad demands a person from each owner. What for? To expand their ranks? I drifted off to sleep with the question on my mind. When I woke up, it was already 3 p.m. I stepped out of my room and saw Xiao Wei standing on the balcony, looking out. I walked over. Outside, in the small garden below, 2 vehicles were parked. A dozen people in biohazard suits, armed with rifles. Squad surrounded a nearby building entrance. They looked on high alert, like they were locked in a standoff with something inside. I asked Xiao Wei, "What's going on?" "Those 2 vehicles pulled up half an hour ago, and they've just been posted there." I studied the building. The weather was clear. Sunlight reflected off the building's windows, glaring brightly. A sudden thought hit me. The pale man. Could it be him? Then the people outside moved. A few of them, cautiously, entered the building entrance. Not long after, the ones who stayed outside went in too. Suddenly, the whole building seemed to shudder. A violent explosion, followed by flames. Screams erupted, one after another. A figure, engulfed in fire, leaped from a high floor. It was too high. More followed, jumping desperately. The ground was painted crimson, like red flowers. Witnessing this, Xiao Wei gasped, covering her mouth. "This is bad. Something big is going down." Another vehicle arrived. More people got out. Ignoring the still burning fire, they charged inside. Soon after, I saw them emerge, carrying a black bag. They got in their vehicle and sped off. What was it? What's so important to squad sacrifices so many? The atmosphere that afternoon was heavy, silent. I sat on the couch, mindlessly playing a mobile game. Everyone else stayed holed up in their rooms. If the free cleanup squad insists on taking someone, we'll see whose gun is faster. A knock at the door. A weight lifted from my chest. Finally, I opened the door. Outside stood the squad in biohazard suits, weapons in hand. Seeing me, they asked, "How many people are here? Any room?" I was taken aback. What do they mean? One of them looked embarrassed. "We have wounded. We're looking for a property owner to take us in." I looked behind him, and sure enough, there was another team member, supporting someone who was burned black. "I do have space left, but I need to check you first." He quickly said, "I understand. Check us as protocol demands." I stepped aside to let them in, pointing to the second bedroom. "Go there." The 2 of them helped the injured man inside. The other team member introduced himself.
I'm Feng Hui.
The leader of this squad. That one's Li Chong. The injured man is Wang Gang. We're the survivors from the explosion earlier. Then, Tang Xiaoyue said, "Why don't you just go back to the freak cleanup squad?" Feng Hui gave a bitter laugh. "Our mission failed. Going back means punishment by the rules. And no one knows the 3 of us are still alive." I asked, What's the punishment? Feng Hui didn't answer. I didn't press further. The night went on, and no one else knocked. Looks like the freak cleanup squad isn't coming today. The cold, robotic voice of the system chimed in on time. The system. Freak's features will no longer be announced. The freak kill leaderboard will be updated shortly. The top 3 safe house owners will receive additional rewards. Future visitor numbers will no longer be tallied. All safe house owners strive to survive. I was completely stunned. Have the freaks evolved to a point where even the system can't tell them apart anymore? A cold sweat broke out on my back. The system can't even track the number of visitors anymore. What the hell is happening? If we can't get intel through the system, what are we supposed to do? Then I noticed Zhang Kai had replied to my private message. Zhang Kai, brother, I've got a major problem here. Well, I got back from outside yesterday. A real person was killed by a freak in my place. Luja, you didn't check properly before? Zhang Kai, no, it's that I couldn't tell. Only 2 of us left in my place tonight. If that thing shows up, I probably won't make it. If I don't reply to you tomorrow, come take all my supplies. Luja, come to my place. Zhang Kai, no. I tried taking in another owner. The guy just self-detonated right at midnight. I closed the private chat. Visitor time is almost here. I can't go help him. I just have to hope Zhang Kai makes it through this. Just then, Tang Xiaoyue brought over that radio. She walks over. Lou, this thing just made a noise. I take the radio. It's crackling with static. Soon, cheers erupt from it. Someone shouting, Rando, we won this battle. Then, a chorus of celebratory whoops and hollers. We wait, but after that, dead silence. Nothing. I asked Tang Xiaoya, what did it say before? It went off once before. I've been fiddling with it the past couple days. Just now while scanning channels, I caught this one talking. But it was a bunch of voices, couldn't make it out. I set the radio down. No telling how many waves of visitors we'll get tonight. Everyone get ready. I'll go tell them. Tang Xiaoya says and leaves. Soon, frantic, angry pounding shakes the door. Whoever's out, there is desperate. The door rattles in its frame. Lun Yin goes to check the peephole again. She just opens the slot and lets out a piercing shriek. My head snaps up. Lun Yin stumbles back in a panic. A single, gnarled, pitch-black arm is thrust through the slot. Its 5 fingers end in sharp, sickly green talons. Lucky Lun Yin, jump back fast. One scratch from that, you be shredded. I bolt to the kitchen, grab a few cleavers. Test the weight, pick the one that feels right. The pounding outside never stops. Dust rains from the doorframe with each blow. I reach the door. The arm is still flailing wildly. I heft the cleaver, bring it down with all my might. A guttural roar outside. Splatters of green blood. The hand thuds to the floor. Fingers twitch a few times, then go still. The pounding stops for a second, then returns, harder, not knocking anymore. They're trying to break it down. 4, 5 more arms shove through the slot, clawing at the air from all angles. I swing again, lop another one off. Go get Wang Ming. Now, stop hiding in there playing dead. Tang Xiaoya hears me and rushes to fetch him. Moments later, Wang Ming shuffles out, trembling. Kitchen, get a cleaver. Start chopping. Wang Ming hesitates, dawdles by the kitchen. Feng Hui sees this, doesn't say a word. Grabs a cleaver himself. We flank the door. Arms reach in, we chop them off. One after another. We've already hacked off over a dozen hands. I open the weapon port. I yell to Xiaowei now. Fire. Screams erupted from the hallway. I waited a moment, then grabbed my gun, flung the door open, and charged out. A few freaks, shot down by Xiaowei, lay at the entrance. Further down the hall, several more stood, missing most of their arms. Seeing the door open, they shrieked and charged again. I didn't even blink, just aimed and blew their heads off. Yellowish-white brain matter dripped from the ceiling. The whole corridor was a river of stinking green gore. And that was just the first wave. No wonder the system stopped counting visitors. There's no way to keep track of this mess. I rushed back inside, opened the system's market, and searched for blades. Bought a few machetes. My level's still too low to buy firearms from the market yet. Those freaks I just took out, they earned me a nice chunk of credits. I handed a machete to Feng Hui. She's fast, brutal, precise. I went to the kitchen and dragged Wang Ming out, shoved the machete into his hands. My clothes were sticky with green slime from the fight. I stare him down, my eyes ice cold. Next wave, you charge. You hear me? Or I'll put you down myself. Wang Ming trembled, gripping the knife, nodding frantically. Then, every hair on my body stood up. I spun around. The pale lanky man was there. No idea when he arrived. He stood in the doorway, smiling at me. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Looks like you've had quite the workout. I snapped back, yeah. How about 9 people here now? That's way over your quota. I've even covered the next one. The pale lanky man narrowed his eyes, scanning the room. He chuckled. You've been lucky, Mr. Liu. But who told you the next requirement was about numbers? I froze. What is it then? The pale lanky man just smiled. We'll see next time we meet. I'm looking forward to it. With that, he vanished. I stared at the empty spot. Who the hell is that guy? Who's issuing these tasks? Before I could finish the thought, a horde of freaks. They appeared. I shut the door. Get to work. I lower my gun. Feng Hui was bent over, catching her breath, machete in hand. What weight was that? She croaked, her voice raw. The 4th. Any more? I shook my head. It's dawn. It's over. Credits chimed all night. My nerves were completely fried. Lun Yin, Yu, and Lin Wan cleaned up the entrance. I looked at Wang Ming and patted his shoulder. Good job. He slumped to his knees from the pat, then started retching nonstop. I hurried back to bedroom 1, exhausted from the whole night. Gotta wash up and crash. When I woke up and checked my phone, it was already 5 p.m. I remembered Zhang Kai and quickly opened the private chat. Luja, brother Zhang Kai, how are you holding up? Then I opened the comm channel. Found a number of green-lit room owners had halved again. Only a few people were talking. Owner A, holy SH asterisk T, had a wave of freaks last night. Lucky there was a buff guy here who works out. Owner B, the freak cleanup squad took someone from my place yesterday. Said they'll take one person every day from now on. I watched the comm channel for a bit. Zhang Kai still hadn't replied to me. I closed the chat window, planning to wait until dawn. If no reply by then, I'd go find him. I walked to the entrance and looked at the steel door. After last night, it was full of holes. No way it's lasting another night. Open system market, selected upgrade doors/windows. A renovation sound came from the door and window area. Waited over half an hour before the noise finally faded. The upgraded door was 3 times thicker than before. Window joints upgraded from nails to steel columns. Doors upgraded, now need a ballista turret. Thinking that, I opened the weapons tab and saw ballista, more power, and it can rapid fire. I did the math. Cost twice as much as the Archer Tower in credits, but the firepower is way bigger. Gritted my teeth and bought it anyway. A renovation sound erupted opposite the Archer Tower. When it stopped, a ballista turret stood there. I sat in it and checked its auto-aiming. Can even set the target priority, freaks or humans. Instantly felt the price was worth it. Played with it for a while, then browsed the other weapons in the market. Really want to buy them all. But the credit cost is insane. Clicked back to the market homepage and noticed the food section now unlocked me. Clicked in and instantly felt my stomach growl. After so long eating only rations and instant noodles, these meat pictures look like heaven. Seeing those juicy images, my brain automatically conjured up the mouth-watering smell. The kind of fat that melts in your mouth, not greasy. I'm literally drooling. But the price is insane. Who the hell would pay 1,000 credits for a plate of ribs? That's 10 freaks you gotta kill for one plate. 50 credits for noodles? Only a fool would buy. Xiao Wei comes out of his room, sees me standing by the door holding 2 plates. He asks, Lou, what are you grinning at by the door? I snap back. Go get everyone. We're eating good tonight. When the others come out, they see 2 huge platters of ribs on the table and a big steaming pot of rice. Everyone cheers. I seize the moment. You all worked hard last night. This is bought with the credits we earned. Keep it up tonight, just after dark. The knocking starts right on schedule. Maybe it was the ribs giving everyone energy, or the promise of more tomorrow, but everyone went all out. Even Lun Yin was swinging a chair leg, smashing freak skulls, muttering with each hit. 1 plate of ribs, another plate of ribs. After the fight, I check my private messages again. Zhang Kai still hasn't replied all night. I'm thinking of going to check on him. I'll look at Feng Wei. You good? Still got juice? Yeah, I'm okay. Come with me, Wang Ming. Don't even think of running. You want more ribs or not? The moment I mention ribs, Wang Ming's eyes light up. He grabs his hatchet and heads outside. What are you 2 waiting for? Hurry up. Feng Hui and I exchange a look and quickly follow. We reach the place Zhang Kai mentioned, the parking lot security booth. It's the dead of night. The visitor hours just ended. Only the sound of our footsteps echoes through the empty underground garage. The further we walk, the more uneasy I feel. It's too quiet, not even a whisper of wind. Suddenly, heavy footsteps thud from ahead. The ground trembles slightly. I grip my rifle tight. Get against the wall, I whisper to Feng Hui and Wang Ming. In the dim flashlight beam, I see a massive shadow step out. From behind a support column, the thing is over 10 feet tall, covered in dark, bluish-black scales, with a thick, heavy tail dragging behind it. But the creepy part, its upper body has distinctly female features. It even has long hair flowing from its head. Wang Ming's legs buckle in terror. He almost drops to his knees. Wang Ming's legs went weak, nearly collapsing. He stammered, "What the hell is that thing up ahead?" I kicked Wang Ming in the leg to shut him up. The lizard monster heard the noise and turned. Its swollen, blood-red eyes locked onto our position. Then it let out a piercing, ear-splitting shriek. Its massive body charged like a freight train. I opened fire without a second thought. The assault rifle's muzzle flashed, spitting fire. Bullets sparked off its scales like they were hitting armor plating. This thing's defense is insane. Feng Hui wasn't idle either. He flanked around the side, swinging his machete down hard into the monster's knee joint. The monster roared in pain, its tail whipping out. It sent a wrecked car flying. As it turned its head, I aimed for those swollen red eyes. A quick, precise burst. Green blood exploded. The monster shrieked, clutching its face. Seizing the chance, I grabbed Feng Hui and hauled up the limp Wang Ming. We bolted for the security office deep in the parking garage. The office's metal door was slightly ajar. I kicked it open, rifle raised, sweeping the room. Empty. No sign of Zhang Kai. A layer of dust coated the desk. Looks like he bugged out in a hurry a while ago. The supply crate in the corner was ransacked. But thankfully, a lot was still left behind. I saw a line of messy, scrawled words on the desk, written in blood. It read, "Rescue teams killing. Run." My heart dropped. My worst fears were right. The freak cleanup squad aren't saviors. They're culling us, the high-level safe house owners. Phone we stared at the bloody message, face pale. No time for talk. I stuffed the remaining supplies into my pack. 3 packs filled to bursting. Wang Ming finally started to get his senses back. He kept asking, "What do we do now? What now?" I shoved the heaviest pack at him, my face cold. "Carry it. We're going home. Now. Can't stay here." On the way back, we steered clear of any monster sounds. We ran to the safe house. At the entrance, the thick, coppery smell of blood hit me. A bad feeling twisted in my gut. I pushed open the steel door. The room was silent. Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei huddled, terrified, shaking uncontrollably. Wang Ming smelled the blood and went berserk, charging into bedroom 2. A moment later, his agonized scream tore through the air. I rushed over, rifle at the ready. The sight made my grip on the weapon tighten instantly. Lun Yen lay lifeless in a pool of blood. The death was brutal. Wang Ming knelt on the floor, wailing in despair. He turned, his eyes bloodshot, glaring daggers at us. "Who did this?" he roared. Inside the sealed safe house. No freak from outside could have gotten in. The killer is one of us. My icy gaze swept across everyone in the living room. Tang Xiaoya, eyes red, shook her head frantically. Said she and Xiao Wei were on watch the whole time. Never went in. Xiao Wei hid behind me, trembling with fear. And my eyes landed on the injured Wang Gang. And Lin Wan, standing nearby. Last night's weird payout flashed in my mind. When we brought Lin Wan and Yin Yin back, the system didn't count them as human shelter. No credit reward was issued. I thought it was a safe house capacity limit. Now I know that wasn't at all. I snapped my rifle up, chambering around. The dark barrel aimed straight at Lin Wan's head. Had enough of the act. I sneered. Lin Wan instantly put on a look of sheer terror, tears welling up on cue. "Brother Liu, why are you pointing a gun at me?" She sobbed. Xiao Wei tugged at my sleeve. "Brother Liu, you must be mistaken. Sister Lin Wan can't be a freak." I ignored them. My finger rested on the trigger. "Why didn't the system register you for a reward yesterday?" Lin Wan's sobs cut off abruptly. That pitiful face went completely blank. I turned to Wang Gang, playing weak on the floor. "And you're the mole, aren't you?" Wang Gang and Lin Wan exchanged a look. They lunged at the same time. Wang Gang's charred skin split open. Countless sharp, bluish-black bone spikes erupted. He launched at me like a giant spider. Lin Wan's features contorted grotesquely. Her eyes turned into swirling, unnatural gray mist. Her nails extended into foot-long, razor-sharp, ink-green claws. No panic. I squeezed the trigger. 2 thunderous bangs. The rounds punched clean through Wang Gang's skull. Yellow and white gunk splattered the wall. It didn't even get a chance to scream before it crashed to the ground. Lin Wan let out a piercing shriek when she saw that. She spun around and clamped her hand around Yin Yin's tiny neck. Her sharp fingernails pressed into the little girl's skin. Her voice was a hoarse, grating rasp, as she threatened me to drop the gun, or she'd snap the kid's neck. Yin Yin was too terrified to even cry, just staring at me with desperate, pleading eyes. My gaze was cold as steel. In the apocalypse, getting backed into a corner is a death sentence. I didn't even blink. Without hesitation, I squeezed the trigger. Bang! The bullet whizzed past Yin Yin's scalp, drilling perfectly into the center of Lin Wan's forehead. The force of the impact threw Lin Wan's body backward. She didn't even get a chance to struggle. Her body dissolved into green ooze. Wang Ming slumped to the floor, completely shell-shocked. He could never have imagined that the seemingly frail Lin Wan was actually a terrifying freak. Feng Wei's face was ghostly pale too. He walked over to Wang Gang's remains and started rummaging. He soon pulled a black comm device from the pile of clothes. The comm was crackling with static. Then a cold male voice came through. He asked if the cleanup of Target Room 2 was complete, requesting confirmation. Feng Wei's hands were shaking so badly he could barely hold the comm. He looked at me, his eyes full of disbelief. I walked over, my face cold, and stomped the comm to pieces. So that's how the owners died. The freak cleanup squad was never here to save anyone. They used specially crafted freaks to infiltrate high-level safe houses. Once inside, they destroy from within, kill everyone, cover it up. Then they send a team to collect the spoils. All those vanished icons in the comm channel. All those owners who died without a sound. They were all victims of the sick scheme. The moment I took down those 2 high-level mutants, the system chimed with that sweet, sweet notification sound. Congratulations, owner. 2 high-level sleeper freaks terminated. Reward, 5,000 credits. 2 kill packages acquired. Credits received. The weight finally lifted off my shoulders. This was a massive windfall. It could completely change my situation. I pulled up the system interface. The account balance made my heart sing. I didn't hesitate for a second. I went straight to the market and found a safe house upgrade. No hesitation, I chose to upgrade the apartment to level 5. The moment I confirmed, the whole building seemed to come alive. A violent, grinding sound of reconstruction echoed in my ears. The space around me visibly expanded before my eyes. The cramped living room transformed into a spacious command center. The walls were replaced with impossibly thick composite armor plating. Balconies sealed with blast-proof glass. Security door, now a hydraulic iris scan door. But that wasn't even what I was most excited about. The system's crisp notification chimed. Congratulations, resident. Safe house has reached level 5. Armory Advanced Market are now fully unlocked. Resident may now spend credits to purchase firearms and ammunition. Rubbing my hands together, I eagerly opened the weapons shop. The screen was filled with all kinds of military-grade hardware. Submachine guns, heavy machine guns, grenades. They even had heavy sniper rifles. My fear of insufficient firepower was officially cured. I spent 2,000 credits. Got myself a brand new, refined grade assault rifle. Bought Feng Hui a submachine gun with a red dot sight. Topped it off with a full 1,000 rounds of ammo. Grabbed a dozen grenades and stuffed them into my tactical vest. Used the rest of the money to stockpile water and high-grade meat. Now my safe house was truly an impenetrable fortress. System interface. Market. An impenetrable fortress. Even the air smelled of the reassuring scent of gun, oil, and cordite. After a night of terror and bloodshed, everyone's nerves were completely fried. Once we dealt with Lun Yin's remains and had a hot meal, everyone except me crashed. They collapsed onto their beds, dead to the world. I sat by the reinforced observation window, keeping watch until dawn. Around noon, I woke Feng Hui. Now that we know the truth about the freak cleanup squad, we can't just sit here waiting to die. We have to move, strike first, find more ammo, find the real answers. I had Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei lock the door and hold the fort. Fully geared up, Feng Hui and I stepped out of the safe house again. The world outside was even more broken than before. Once bustling streets were now just rubble and wreckage. Freaks shambled in the shadows of corners. But now, with plenty of ammo, if they so much as showed themselves, I put them down and collected credits. Feng Hui and I followed the route from the abandoned police car heading out. We walked about 2 kilometers. The buildings around us grew larger, more unfamiliar. I stopped at the edge of the city ruins. On the ground, not far ahead, a wide armored passageway appeared. A massive steel gate blocked the road. In red paint, several large characters were sprayed on the gate. Sector D quarantine passage. Next to it, rows of barbed wire had been violently breached. Seeing this, a realization flashed in my mind. All the sectors weren't isolated and helpless. Sector A and the others were actually connected. The existence of these quarantine gates proved it. Maybe the main force of the free cleanup squad isn't from this side. They infiltrated from other sectors. As I was sizing up the steel gate, a cold wind blew past. Goosebumps erupted all over my back. That feeling of being watched by a venomous snake returned. I slowly turned my head. On top of a wrecked car, not far away, stood a tall, pale man. He'd appeared out of nowhere. He wore the same silver robe as always. A creepy smile was plastered on his pale face. Under the blazing sun, he didn't even cast a shadow. He looked at me and started clapping. His tone held a bizarre sort of admiration. "Mr. Luja, you continue to surprise me," he said, reaching a level 5 safe house so quickly, and already seeing through the surface of this pathetic game. I raised a rifle slung across my chest, staring him down coldly. "Cut the spooky act," I said. "What's your connection to the freak cleanup squad?" The pale man suddenly burst into laughter. It sounded like nails on a chalkboard. He drifted down from the car roof, landing not far from me. "Do you think this is just a simple slaughter, Mr. Liu? Haven't you figured it out yet? There's another group, high above, watching all you homeowners through some hidden method. Your every move, your fear and despair. It's all just data for their study and amusement. The free cleanup squad are just there, planted lapdogs." Hearing this earth-shattering secret, my pupils contracted. Watching all U.S. homeowners? If that's true, then behind this apocalypse lies a shadowy hand, so vast it's suffocating. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. "What's your goal?" The smile on the pale man's lips slowly faded. A profoundly complex light flickered in the depths of his sunken eyes. "Because," he said, "the enemy of my enemy is a useful pawn. He said the enemy of my enemy is a pawn I can use. I'm dying to see you turn this dead-end game around. Maybe we can work something out. To drag those bastards out from behind their monitors." I scoffed, "And why should I trust you?" Off-road engines roared in the distance. A free cleanup squad convoy was heading this way. The pale man's body began to fade. Dissolving into the air, he left one last line. He said, "If you want to survive, you're nothing on your own. You need real fighters. Go find the ones who haven't been corrupted yet. We'll meet again soon." With that, he vanished completely. I signaled to Feng Hui. We ducked behind cover nearby. The convoy screeched to a halt not far off. A squad of fully armed cleanup troopers piled out. They began sweeping the area for survivors. Feng Hui and I were about to slip away. Gunfire erupted from a nearby abandoned supermarket. Muzzle flashes lit up the sky. Someone was going toe-to-toe with the freak cleanup squad. I peered out from behind the barricade. Inside the supermarket, gunfire spat relentlessly. A few bloody men were making a desperate last stand behind the shelves. They were armed with nothing but basic gear, bought from the systems market. Facing them was the well-equipped freak cleanup squad. Troopers in hazmat suits advanced, step by relentless step. I recognized a few of the men inside. They were the surviving high-level room owners from the comm channel. Looks like they figured out the secret about the dead owners too. Now, the real people who knew the truth. And the room owners had joined forces. They weren't waiting to die anymore. They were fighting back. But the gap in strength was just too damn wide. The early game weapons from the system market couldn't even scratch the hazmat armor. They were about to be surrounded and wiped out. Deep down, I knew it. One person is nothing against the whole damn squad. Charging out there now would just be suicide. I need to build a real team. Then, the sidewall of the supermarket exploded in a shower of debris. Bricks and dust flew. 3 agile figures burst through the smoke. Their movements were sharp, their tactics perfectly in sync. Combat knives flashed in their hands. 2 troopers went down, throats slit in an instant. My eyes lit up. Those are definitely special forces. Trained to the bone. No firearms on them. But their hand-to-hand is pure, lethal efficiency. As the rescue squad's formation shattered, I signaled Feng Hui. We opened fire from the flanks simultaneously. The upgraded assault rifles packed a hell of punch. A wall of lead tore through their line in seconds. Those special forces guys reacted instantly, grabbing guns off the ground and returning fire. In under 2 minutes, the entire rescue squad, over a dozen men, was wiped out. The smoke cleared. The 3 soldiers had their weapons trained on Feng Hui and me. The rescued safe house owners just sat there, gasping for air. I lowered my rifle and raised my hands, showing I meant no harm. Their leader was a hard-faced man with scars all over. He stared me down coldly. "Who are you?" I said, "Owner of a level 5 safe house. If I hadn't opened fire back there, you guys wouldn't have gotten out clean." Scarface lowered his weapon. He said they were survivors of the Tiger Squad. They'd survived this long after the apocalypse on pure skill, starving for 3 days. Hearing that, I smiled inside. This was a gift. Elite fighters delivered right to my doorstep. I opened the tactical pack on my back, pulled out premium braised beef, and a few huge, juicy, dripping roasted chicken legs. The rich smell of meat instantly filled the air. The soldiers' Adam's apples bobbed hard. Their eyes locked onto the chicken and beef in my hands. I tossed the chicken legs to them, one by one. I said, "Follow me, you eat. You get gear. This is just a taste. My safe house has supplies to last. In this world, trust and firepower are the rarest commodities. If you join my crew, I'll make sure you live like men again." Scarface ripped off a huge chunk of chicken, devouring it. He chewed, trading a look with his 2 buddies. Finally, he gave a sharp, decisive nod. He said, "If you keep us fed and let us kill those freaks, the Tiger Squad's lives are yours." With these 3 elite soldiers on board, the first step of building my team was complete. I handed out the spare ammo, asked the rescued safe house owners what their plan was. They laughed bitterly. Their safe house was toast. They were heading to other sectors to find larger survivor groups. We wished each other luck and went our separate ways, preparing to move out with Feng Hui and the special forces. Just then, a familiar figure slowly emerges from the shadows in the corner. It's that tall, pale, gaunt man. The special forces immediately raise their weapons, aiming at him. I push their gun barrels down. He's with us. The pale man still wears that eerie smile on his face. He looks at the special forces behind me and says, "Mr. Luge's efficiency is truly astounding. Since you already have a capable team, let's officially begin our collaboration." I asked him what he wants to cooperate on. The pale man takes out a tattered map and tosses it to me. He says the freak cleanup squad has a hidden laboratory in this area. There's the truth you're looking for. But the perimeter is guarded by troublesome things. With that, he dissolves into the air like mist once more. I catch the map and take a closer look. Location: abandoned factory by D-sector quarantine. I sneer. If we're going to fight back, we have to go for the jugular. I lead the team to the factory. Half an hour later, we're lying low by the perimeter fence. The factory gates are sealed tight. The yard is littered with broken cages and scattered bones. I peer around the corner. Suddenly, a chilling, low growl echoes. Several hounds, each the size of a calf, slink out of the shadows. Their bodies are festering, muscles grotesquely bulging. Their maws are filled with dagger-like fangs. Their claws dig deep into the concrete.
Mutated dogs.
Scarface whispers, "These beasts have a keen sense of smell. If they spot us, they'll bring the whole cleanup squad down on us." I narrow my eyes, drawing my combat knife. No guns. We take them out silently. The 5 of us fan out instantly, a well-oiled machine. Using the systems market, I buy a few chunks of bloody raw meat. I hurl the meat hard to the far side of the yard. The mutated dogs catch the scent and pounce. As they lower their heads to eat, less than 10 seconds, all 5 mutated dogs are dead. Not a single sound was made. We drag the carcasses into the undergrowth, then quickly move towards the factory's underground lab entrance. The entrance is a heavy-duty electronic keypad door. No way to force it open. I examine the keypad closely. Several number keys are heavily worn. Based on my understanding of the system and its patterns, I tried using the freak cleanup squads. English abbreviations and code combos. 3 attempts in. Beep. The heavy doors slid open with a low groan. We filed into the underground passage. A wave of stench hit us, formaldehyde and rotting meat. It made my eyes water. Massive glass incubation tanks lined the corridor. Our flashlight beams cut through the ground. What we saw next stole the breath from our lungs. Tanks held grotesque human-animal hybrids. Some were covered in scales. Others had limbs mutated into vicious claws. One was just a massive, pulsing head. Every tank bore the Freak Cleanup Squad's label. Detailed logs of gene splicing and experimental data. Scarface gritted his teeth. Sick bastards. This wasn't some natural disaster. The freaks and mutated beasts devouring the streets. The Freak Cleanup Squad cooked them up in this lab. They didn't just cause the apocalypse. They used it as an excuse to control the survivors. I pulled out my micro camera. Documented every shred of evidence. This is the proof. Their true faces. We pushed deeper into the lab complex. Inside a massive sealed containment zone. The clank of heavy chains. We moved closer. A giant alloy cage. A man built like a fortress inside. He stood nearly 8 feet tall. Muscles layered like slabs of stone. Thick chains bound his limbs to the wall. Tubes ran from his body, siphoning fluids. A living specimen. A donor for their experiments. I recognized him from the old news feeds. Lee Dolly, the national weightlifting champion, the strongman. They dragged him here. Lee Dolly's head lifted at our footsteps. His eyes were bloodshot, burning with feral rage. A raw, ragged growl. Get the hell away from me. We're not with the cleanup squad. We're here to get you out. He froze. The fury in his eyes dimmed, just a fraction. The cage code changes daily, he rasped. Tamper with it, it blows. I approached the electronic lock, studied the keyhole, the wiring, opened the systems market right there. Dropped 1,000 credits on a high-grade electronic cracker. I walked up to the electronic lock of the cage. I closely examined the keyhole and the wiring. I directly opened the system store. Spent 1,000 gold coins on an advanced electronic cracker. I jammed the probe of the decoder into the electronic lock. Code floods, screen flickers. 30 seconds later, click, a soft sound, and the alloy cage door springs open. The special forces rush in, hydraulic cutters snapping the chains. Legally rubs his wrists, free at last. He stretches his massive frame. His bones crackle like popcorn. He grins at me, all teeth. Says his life is mine now. He'll smash anything I point at. With this human bulldozer on the team. Our firepower just leveled up big time. Just as we're about to bug out, a piercing alarm shrieks through the lab. Red warning lights strobe like crazy. Damn it. Legally must have triggered the biometric alarm when he ripped out that last sensor tube. A furious voice crackles over the lab's PA system. Someone's breached Lab Zero. All combat units, lock down the factory. Do not let them leave alive. Scarface raises his rifle. We're blown. Move. We bolt back the way we came. Burst out a tunnel. Into a factory yard swarming with dozens of fully kitted out freak cleanup squad troopers. A heavy machine gun on an armored vehicle swivels toward the entrance. The lead commander sneers at us. You really think you can run? Your faces are already uploaded. Top of the regional bounty board. Every safe house owner, every survivor out there. Kill you. Get lifetime protection. My gut drops. Freak squad put a kill order on us. Whole sector. We're public enemy number 1 now. The heavy machine gun roars. Muzzle flash a foot long. Bullets rain down on us. Legally bellows. Grabs a wrecked generator that must weigh a ton and hurls it at the armored vehicle like a rock. Boom. The vehicle crumples inward. The machine gun silenced instantly. We dive for cover, returning fire desperately. But there are too many of them. Their suppressing fire pins us down hard. More cleanup troopers keep pouring in from all sides. Foam Weed takes a round to the arm, blood soaking his sleeve. One of the special forces guys goes down in a pool of red. We're at the breaking point. My ammo's almost gone. In this hopeless moment, a massive explosion rocks the factory's outer wall. A series of brutal, pinpoint explosions rock the air. A long wall section crumbles, engulfing all in dust. A heavily modified off-road vehicle like a beast of steel smashes through the smoke. It smashes into 2 pickups, sending them flying. Before the vehicle even comes to a full stop, the roof-mounted machine gun unleashes a torrent of fire. The hail of bullets shreds their encirclement. The window rolls down. A man caked in soot and blood leans out. He bellows at me.
Lucia! What the hell are you waiting for? Get in!
I stare at the familiar face, frozen. The shock is almost impossible to put into words. It's Zhang Kai. Zhang Kai, the guy I thought was dead in that underground garage. He's back with enough firepower to level a city block. I scream, everyone break out. Now. We cover each other, sprinting over corpses and pools of blood toward the vehicle. The dolly slams the armored side panel from the rear. Zhang Kai floors the gas pedal. The engine roars with a deafening scream. We carve a bloody path straight through the storm of gunfire, blasting out through the abandoned factory's main gate. The gunfire behind us fades into the distance. Inside the cabin, we're all gasping for air. I ask John Kai where the hell he's been the last 2 days. And where did he get this kind of hardware? John Kai wrestles the wheel, grinning a bitter, tight-lipped smile. He says after our safe house got trashed that night, he barely clawed his way out of the garage. Ran into a whole mob of desperate property owners on the outskirts. With Zone a death trap, they fought their way out. Stumbled right into a convoy heading for Zone F. That place is now the Resistance's ground zero, packed with survivors who refuse to be lab rats. Because I lifted the travel restrictions between zones, he just borrowed some heavy firepower from F and came looking for me, only to find my face on the most wanted list. So he followed the tracker and came guns blazing. I let out a long, ragged breath, taking it all in, looking at my battered but battle-ready team in the truck. I clap Jean Kai on the shoulder. Let's go, I say. We're heading for Zone F. We'll make the cleanup squad pay for this in blood. Soon, the off-roader races down the desolate highway. Wind howls into the cabin, carrying the thick stench of blood and cordite. I lean against the window, watching the ruins blur past. The exhausted squad finally lets its guard down. The squad members relax. Lee Dolly's massive frame takes up half the vehicle. He's resting with his eyes closed. Scarface and 2 other Special Forces soldiers are, giving Feng Huey's wounds a quick field dressing. Jean Kai grips the steering wheel, his face alight with excitement. He turns to me and says, F sector is just ahead. It's the last hope for all of us who refuse to be lab rats. Not long after, a huge complex of structures appears on the horizon. Unlike the deathly silence of a sector, this place has high defensive walls built around its perimeter. Searchlight beams sweep across the top of the walls. Everywhere, armed survivors are on patrol. As we approach the main gate, Jean Kai leans out and shouts a passcode to the guards. The heavy alloy gate slowly groans open, and we drive into F sector. A scene of bustling activity greets us. People are hauling supplies, repairing weapons. Though exhaustion is etched on every face, there's a glimmer of something else in their eyes. Jean Kai parks the vehicle in a massive square. This is the main base against the freak cleanup squad. The man in charge is called Lao Hua. He was a cop before the world went to hell. He's the one who led everyone to build this sanctuary in the ruins. I barely stepped out when a burly, stern-faced, middle-aged man approaches. It's Lao Hua. Jean Kai quickly makes the introductions. Lao Hua looks me up and down. His gaze shifts to Lee Dolly behind me, and the Special Forces squad. He gives a firm nod, his eyes full of approval. He says, Luja, your reputation precedes you. To have the guts to raid the freak cleanup squad's lab and pull Lee Dolly out of there, impressive. I give a modest smile. We all risked our necks for that. Lao's expression turns grave. He sighs. The freak cleanup squad's gone berserk. They're rounding up anyone who resists in every sector. F sector's safe for now, but it won't hold forever. We need more firepower. His words strike a chord. I pull up my system interface to check my safe house status. Back in sector, I'd wondered, what happens to my level 5 safe house if I leave? I poured a fortune in credits and sweat into that place. The info on the panel hits me like a truck. A system alert. Owner detected outside home region. Safe house has reached level 5. Portable relocation function unlocked. Relocate level 5 safe house to current coordinates? I didn't hesitate. I hit yes, the moment I confirmed it. On an empty patch of land at the edge of F Sector's plaza, a blinding white light erupted. The ground trembled faintly. A steel fortress materialized out of thin air, settling firmly onto the spot. Heavy armored hydraulic doors, fully armed observation ports. It was my level 5 safe house from A Sector. Lao Hua and the surrounding survivors were stunned. They'd never seen anything like it. A super fortress that could move between sectors. I pushed open the hydraulic door. Tang Xiaoyue and Xiao Wei were already waiting inside. Seeing me return safely, their eyes welled up with emotion. I called all my squad members into the safe house. With this mobile fortress now, we had absolute security in F Sector and the means to fight back. For the next few days, F Sector was a hive of tense preparation. Free cleanup squad, recon drones circled overhead constantly. The atmosphere was suffocating. Looking at the massive pile of credits in my system account, earned from taking down high-level freaks and those lab mutts, I decided to go all in. I opened the market and clicked Upgrade Safe House. The system chime rang. Ding. 100,000 credits consumed. Safe house upgrading to level 6. The entire steel fortress roared with deafening noise again. Its footprint expanded. The single-story fortress rose, transforming into a 2-story mini-citadel. The outer armor plating grew even thicker, gleaming with a cold, metallic sheen. But what really got my heart racing was the next system prompt. Congratulations, owner. Safe house reached level 6. Ultimate defense weapon unlocked. Glass cannon. I hurriedly checked the armory. The glass cannon is a terrifying energy weapon. By consuming a massive amount of credits, it fires. A high-energy beam that obliterates everything in its path. Powerful enough to vaporize a high-level freak instantly. Downside, each shot drains a huge amount of power. Requires a cooldown period to recharge. Pricey and slow. But this is our trump card against the Freak Cleanup Squad's heavy armor. Without a second thought, I spent 20,000 credits to purchase and install the glass cannon. On the third evening, just as everything was ready, a piercing alarm shattered F Sector's uneasy calm. Laowa was screaming in the square. He said the Freak Cleanup Squad is here. Everyone get ready to fight. Rushed to Safe House's second floor observation room. The sight outside made my blood run cold. A dark, seething mass covered the horizon, like a storm cloud. It was an uncountable number of freaks. They surged towards Sector F like a tidal wave. What was worse, these freaks weren't like the slow, twisted monsters from before. Slow-moving, hideous-looking monster. They looked completely normal. Wearing regular clothes. Even their faces wore expressions of fear and helplessness. In a crowd, you couldn't tell them apart from humans. This was another terrifying evolution, driven by the Freak Cleanup Squad, used as cannon fodder to drain Sector F's defenses. Behind the wave of freaks were the Cleanup Squad's armored vehicles and fully armed assault teams. They hung back at a safe distance, coldly directing the slaughter. Sector F's wall defenses opened up, pouring out ammo in frenzy. Bullets licked the lead freaks like tongues of fire. Gore flew, green blood staining the earth red, but there were just too many of them. One wave fell, the next trampled over their bodies to charge. Sector F's defensive line began to buckle. Watching the brutal fight below, I was frantic. These freaks that looked so normal, some of them were probably just innocent people. The Cleanup Squad forcibly mutated. They might still be saved. I suddenly remembered there was something else in the systems market. I frantically scrolled through the market. Then, in the special items tab, I saw it. A small icon, pulsing with a golden light. Advanced gotcha draw. 5,000 credits per pull. Chance to obtain rare items, weapons, or blueprints. I gritted my teeth and tapped 10 pull. 50,000 credits vanished. Light flashed before my eyes. Rows of items appeared on the system interface. Most were just common ammo and scrap. But as the final card flipped over, a brilliant violet light shot up. Rare blueprint. Reversion Serum Formula. I quickly checked the details. Reversion Serum reverts early/mid-stage freaks, whose external forms have not yet fully twisted. It can revert them back to normal humans, but it requires specific medicinal herbs and a massive amount of credits to brew. I was overjoyed. This is a game changer, a miracle. I immediately raided the market for the needed herbs. I had Tang Xiaowei and Xiaowei brew it urgently in the safe house. Meanwhile, I was already at the safe house's weapon control console. My hands gripped the control levers of the glass cannon. I locked onto the Freak Squad's vehicle, positioned behind the wave of freaks. Since the freaks are just their cannon fodder, take out the command center. I roared. System locked. Energy charge 100%. Glass cannon, fire. A thick, blinding beam of blue light erupted from the top of the safe house. It tore through the night sky with unstoppable force. It hit a heavy armored vehicle directly. No explosion, just a horrifying, sizzling hiss. That supposedly indestructible armored vehicle, under that blue beam's glare, instantly, like ice under a scorching sun, vaporized without a trace, along with a dozen or so cleanup squad members around it. They were all annihilated, turned to dust by that terrifying beam. The battlefield fell into a dead silence for a moment. Everyone was stunned by this godlike attack. The Freak Cleanup Squad's formation was thrown into chaos. The commander was screaming madly, fall back, cover, but I wasn't giving them a chance. The glass cannon went into cooldown. I grabbed my assault rifle, and with Legally and the Tiger Squad, we charged out of the safe house. We're cutting a path through. I led the charge at the front. My assault rifle spewed a torrent of fire, specifically targeting the Cleanup Squad officers, to try to reorganize their ranks. Legally was like a berserk bulldozer, his massive frame crashing right into the enemy's defensive line. Every swing of his heavy warhammer sent armored soldiers flying. Scarface led the Tiger Squad in a flanking move, cutting in like ghosts from the side. Their knives aimed at suit weak spots. Zhang Kai and Laowa organized the survivors on the wall in Sector F. For suppressive fire, the battle turned in an instant. The Cleanup Squad's heavy units, after losing dozens of men,
began a disorderly retreat.
But they weren't completely routed. They coldly drove forward the front lines. The seemingly normal-looking freaks, still coming in waves. They keep mindlessly charging us in suicidal waves. Fear and desperation are plain in these ordinary freaks' eyes. Many of them never chose to mutate. They're just the Cleanup Squads, lab rats and cannon fodder. Looking at these controlled husks, a wave of raw fury boils up inside me. Just then, Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei burst from the safe house, hauling two massive insulated containers. They're yelling as they run, "Lu, the reversal serum is ready." My eyes snapped at them. "Cover me." I bark at the Spec Ops squad. I crack open a container. Inside are hundreds of syringes, pulsing with a soft, eerie blue glow. I grab a fistful of them. I don't shoot the first wave of freaks charging me. Instead, I time it. Kick one hard to the ground. and jam a syringe deep into its neck. As the blue serum floods its system, the freak's foggy pupils contract violently. The twisted agony on its face starts to smooth out. It gags, a harsh, wrenching sound from its throat. Then it vomits a massive, foul-smelling green sludge. It collapses, gasping for air. When it looks up, its eyes are clear, human. It stares at its own hands and breaks into ragged sobs. I'm alive. I'm back. It cries. Every survivor watching is frozen in shock. Up on the wall, Lau's voice cracks with emotion. It's a cure. He screams. That's the cure. Cover Luja. We're bringing everyone back. I repeat the move. A dozen more leading freaks go down onto my boots. I inject every single one with the reversal serum. The restored humans look around, dazed. When it hits them that the freak cleanup squad turned them into monsters just to die, that confusion hardens into pure, searing hate. I toss spare weapons their way. Listen up. I war. Those bastards in hazmat suits did this to you. This is your one shot. Pick up a gun and fight with me. You want to stay human? Then we take the cleanup squad down. The newly freed survivors. Their eyes bloodshot, snatch up the guns. They're weak, shaky. But the fire of vengeance fuels them with insane strength. With guttural roars, they turn and join our ranks. They open fire on the cleanup squad with a frenzy. This miraculous turnaround shatters their morale completely. Shattered the freak cleanup squad's morale. They never imagined their prized mutant army will be turned into rabid avengers by a few vials of serum. The freaks, not yet injected, seem confused, deterred by the serum's scent, or the sight of their transformed kin. Their advance faltered, a brief chaos seizing their ranks. I seized the moment, ordering a full counterattack. The glass cannon was charged and ready. I barked a command to Xiaowei over the comm. Another cataclysmic blue beam tore through the night sky, slamming into the cleanup squad's rear, their makeshift command post, and ammo dump. The resulting explosion was massive. A blinding mushroom cloud erupted, the shockwave flipping armored vehicles like toys. That was it. The freak cleanup squad broke. Survivors dropped their gear, scattering in panic. But on this battlefield, burning with rage, there was nowhere to run. Legally yanked a commander from a jeep and slammed him to the ground like a sack of meat. Scarface's knife sliced through fleeing soldiers' hazmat suits. The fight raged until dawn. First light pierced the darkness, illuminating the carnage. The ground was littered with cleanup squad corpses and wreckage. Sector F held. We crippled their main force. But no one cheered. The victory cost too much. The price was steep. I walked to the commander, Lee captured alive. Bloody-faced, his eyes wide with terror. I pressed my rifle to his temple. My voice was ice. Talk. What the hell is the freak cleanup squad? Why turn people into monsters? What's the real story behind all this? He trembled, trying to stay silent at first. But when Lee snapped two of his fingers, he broke completely. He sobbed, we had no choice. The free cleanup squad, it's not human. We're just the vanguard. We're an alien invasion. My blood ran cold. Aliens? The commander kept babbling, shaking. The real power is from the deep void, a higher life form. They want Earth's resources, but a direct invasion would trigger the planet's own will to resist. A fierce, primal fight back. So they used genetic tech to create this virus, the one that turns people into monsters, an attempt to rot our society from the inside. The mutated hounds, the advanced freaks we cooked up in the lab, all based on data they provided. I took a sharp breath. A chill shot down my spine. If that's the truth, then what the hell is the system? And the pale man? I snapped. Why the hell does that damn system hand out credits? And what is that pale man supposed to be? The commander looked at me, stunned, like he couldn't believe I didn't know. He gritted his teeth. The system, we didn't build it. The system and the pale man, they're Earth's defense protocol. I froze. Earth's defense protocol? The commander gave a bitter laugh. The planet intervened, forced its way into reality to save itself. It became the system, issuing credits, providing weapons. Find those who can fight in this hell. The worthy ones. And the pale man, he's the embodiment of the planet's will. His brutal rules, the culling protocol, is not about killing. It's about weeding out the weak. Because against a higher dimensional invasion, cowards just get absorbed or wiped out. Only the strong survive the blood and fire and dare to fight back. Only they get to be the embers that protect this world. I stood there completely stunned. Every clue in my head finally clicked into place. Why the system issued missions to fight freaks. Missions that paid out credits. Why there were those creepy visitor headcount checks. Why the pale man kept raising the bar for survival. It was all one thing. A brutal trial. And a desperate, last-ditch attempt to save itself. Earth was using the most extreme method possible. To filter out soldiers who could stand against the alien threat. I looked at the scarred land around us. At the survivors, my comrades, patching each other's wounds. All hit me. Then, in the morning mist, that tall, pale figure appeared again. Soundless. He stood on a pile of rubble not far off, still in that silver robe. But his face, that eerie smile, was gone. A serene acceptance. I walked over. No gun. I looked at him. Who are you? Really? The pale man looked up at the rising sun on the horizon. His voice was like an ancient echo, distant and deep. I am the pain and defiance of the world beneath you. It's the primal instinct born from eons of life and death. He said, Luja, you've done well. You and your team have proven that humanity isn't so easily erased. You've passed the final culling. I tightened my grip on the rifle. This was just one outpost, one battle. The real alien main force hasn't even arrived, has it? The pale man nodded. They're already on their way. This was just the Vanguard's defeat. The real war is only just beginning. But as long as there are sparks like you, the chosen ones, this planet won't be snuffed out so easily. As a gentle breeze swept through, the pale man dissolved into shimmering light, merging with the earth itself. My system interface chimed at that moment. A crisp, global announcement ringing out. System alert. Earth's defense protocol. Initial phase concluded. Congratulations to all survivors who endured blood and fire and remained uncorrupted. Final confrontation module loaded. All Citadel controllers, rally your forces. Prepare for the darkest hour before the dawn. I turn around, looking at Lita, the Special Forces Squad, Feng Hui, Laowa, and all the restored survivors. Their gazes were fixed on me, resolute. I knew it then. This trial of survival had only just raised the curtain on the real show. But now, we were no longer lambs waiting for slaughter. We were this planet's sharpened blade of retaliation. I raised my assault rifle high, its barrel aimed at the newly risen sun, and roared, prepare for battle. I stood on the battlefield, smoke in the air. Beneath my feet was soil blackened by artillery. Above my head, the rising sun pierced the heavy cloud cover with golden spears of light, illuminating every face marked by the recent bloodshed. But this peace was doomed to be fleeting. The system's cold, mechanical alert tone tolled like a funeral bell in the mind of every survivor. Warning, alien invasion Vanguard forces completely annihilated. Mothership has locked onto Earth's coordinates. Planetary level extermination, strike arriving in 72 hours. All safe house protective shields will be forcibly deactivated. All qualified personnel, make your final preparations. The announcement hit like a thunderclap. The cheering crowd fell into dead silence. Despair spread like a plague. Mothership. Planetary level extermination. It sounded like a force we couldn't possibly stand against. Not even after we just took down the free cleanup squad. Even with our high-tech weapons in hand. Against a war machine of this interstellar scale, we're still as insignificant as ants. I look at the faces around me, instantly drained of hope. And my heart sinks. This isn't just another fight. This is the ultimate test of our will. If we give up now, then every sacrifice, every bit of effort was for nothing. I take a deep breath, jump onto the roof of a wrecked armored vehicle, and roar. Listen up, all of you. We clawed our way back from those man-eating freaks. We made that cleanup squad flee in terror. Now we just have a tougher opponent. That's all. Are you really just going to stick your necks out and wait for the axe? Laowa, Zhangkai, every single one of you who crawled out of the blood and filth. Tell me, are you really willing to just roll over and die? My voice echoes across the desolate battlefield, carrying a finality that brooks no argument. Laowa looks up, eyes bloodshot, and spits a mouthful of bloody phlegm. He slams his rifle, but into the ground, cursing.
I've lived half my damn life, seen it all. Aliens? So what? Even the King of Heaven showing up. He'd lose a few teeth trying to take what's mine.
Zhangkai isn't about to be outdone. He wipes the soot from his face, grinning to show a flash of white teeth. He says, Luja, you're right. We're dead either way. Might as well go down swinging. Maybe we could take a few of those bastards with us. Legally just starts waving his massive warhammer around, letting out an earth-shaking roar. The Special Forces soldiers quietly check their ammo, revenge burning in their eyes. Morale in the crowd begins to flicker back to life. The road's a black hole, but we're no longer just dust. Looking at my comrades, their fighting spirit rekindled. A surge of warmth fills me. I pull up the system interface. Every last credit, every bit of saved up currency. I pour it all in without hesitation. I'm going to turn these last 72 hours into the capital for our comeback. I bark the order. Everyone, listen up. Consolidate all resources from Sector F. We're building a final line of defense that can stand up to that alien mothership. Those ridiculously priced blueprints and weapons in the market. The ones we never even dared to look at before. Buy them all. We're out of options. Sector F becomes a giant construction site for 3 days, driven by frantic, desperate energy. Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei led a group of survivors with relevant skills, working day and night in the safe house basement to churn out high-grade energy cells. Li Dali took a crew of burly men to dig trenches and build barricades on F-Zone's perimeter. Scarface and the Special Forces vets were in charge of training the Greenhorns, who just picked up a weapon, teaching them how to use grenades and stay alive on the battlefield. I poured all my focus into the safe house's final upgrade. The system prompted me. Once the safe house reaches max level, a final fusion is possible. All functional modules would integrate into a single entity, transforming into a small-scale combat citadel. I didn't hesitate. I chose fusion. With a deafening, earth-shaking roar, the already massive steel fortress underwent a cataclysmic transformation. The outer armor grew even thicker, with sharp, angular lines. Its surface was now sheathed in a shimmering blue energy shield. The rooftop blast cannon was upgraded into 2 twin-linked high-energy particle cannons. And at the very pinnacle of the citadel, a massive signal transmission tower stabbed into the sky. That was the key device to jam the alien mothership's comms. 72 hours vanished in a blink. As the last sliver of sunset dipped below the horizon, the entire sky darkened without warning. Clouds churned like boiling water. A colossal shadow fell over the land. It was a planet-spanning starship. It hovered over F-Zone, its hull pulsing with a cold, sinister red light. Countless small craft swarmed from the mothership's belly, like locusts descending in a dense, black wave. A piercing alarm siren tore through the sky. The alien vanguard had landed. These weren't ordinary grunts. They were alien warriors clad in exosuits, wielding energy weapons. They were tall, agile, and every shot from their weapons blasted craters in the ground. The fight erupted instantly. F-Zone's outer perimeter defenses were on the brink. From the first assault wave, the survivors fought back desperately, but the tech gap was just too wide. Our bullets sparked and fizzled against their energy shields, barely making a ripple, but we can barely scratch them. Their counterattacks are one-hit kills. A lot of guys went down in the first volley. Seeing the line about to break, I roar. I activate the Citadel's full weapon suite. Twin-linked particle cannons blaze. 2 massive beams tear through the night sky. They slam directly into a low-flying, diving alien landing craft. A deafening boom. The craft explodes into a massive fireball. Debris rains down like hellfire. That incredible shot instantly boosts everyone's morale. Lauwa screams from the trench.
Hell yeah! You see that, brothers? They're flesh and blood too. They can die. Now give them hell.
I maneuver the Citadel's fire control grid, shredding any aircraft that dares get close. Heavy machine gun turrets on the flanks join in, roaring like beasts. A metal storm barrage sweeps across the alien foot soldiers below. Those arrogant bastards are caught completely off guard. Their energy shields crack and shatter under the onslaught. Then they're torn to pieces. But there are just too many of them. The mothership seems pissed. Its main cannon starts charging. A world-ending red beam streaks straight for the Citadel. My heart lurches. The system blares a warning. Catastrophic level energy strike detected. Current shields insufficient. I scream. Everyone, take cover. I max out the Citadel's energy shield. Red light swallows the whole fortress. A violent tremor nearly knocks me off my feet. Alarms shriek, metal groans. Shield integrity plummets. 50%, 30%, 10%, just as the shield is about to fail. The red beam finally fades. The Citadel's still smoking. Its outer walls glowing red hot, but it held. It held. I wipe cold sweat from my face, my eyes turning savage.
You want to play for keeps? Let's play.
I bark into the comms to all combat personnel. Now, while their main guns recharging, hit him back. Legally leads a suicide squad charging from the trenches. They're armed with freshly cobbled together EMP grenades. They sprint like madmen towards the disabled alien soldiers. Scarface and the special ops guys weave through the rubble, using the terrain, picking off enemy commanders with sniper rifles. The battlefield turns into a giant meat grinder. Every second, someone falls. Every second, a life ends. But not a single soul backs down. We're fighting for our home, for the last shred of human dignity. Just as the battle reached a stalemate, a strange hum echoed from the sky. That tall, pale figure, the man representing Earth's will. He appeared in the sky once more. This time, he wasn't a cold observer. His body erupted in blinding white light. Like a rising sun, he spread his arms. Countless points of light flew from him, merging into every fighting soldier. I felt an unprecedented power surge through me. Exhaustion vanished. Wounds healed in seconds. My weapon felt alive. And it wasn't just me. Everyone was undergoing a shocking change. Ordinary people moved with cheetah-like speed. Their strength became that of a bear. Some could even manipulate the elements, summoning fire and lightning from thin air. This was Earth's final gift. It poured all its remaining energy into us. The pale man's form grew transparent after the release. He looked down at the battlefield with a serene smile. Before fading, his last words echoed. Go, humanity. This is your planet. Let no one take it. This power became the final straw. That broke the alien army's back. We launched a full-scale charge. Those once invincible alien warriors were no match for the enhanced survivors. Legally smashed an exosuit to pieces with a single blow. Aliens turned to dust in his wake. I manned the Citadel, aiming the last high-energy particle cannon at the mothership. System alert. Energy overload. Firing will cause permanent Citadel destruction. Confirm? I stared at the behemoth. No hesitation. I slammed the firing button. Die. A beam of light more brilliant than any before lanced into the sky, carrying the roar of every life on Earth. It pierced the mothership's core engine. Time seemed to freeze. Then, an explosion brighter than the sun erupted in the sky. The shockwave shook the very ground. The arrogant alien mothership disintegrated in midair. Debris fell like burning meteors, streaking the sky. The alien remnants on the ground saw their ship destroyed. Morale shattered. They dropped their weapons, surrendered, or self-destructed in despair. The last explosion faded to silence. Sector F fell into a brief, eerie silence. Then, an earth-shaking roar of celebration erupted. People hugged each other, weeping, screaming in triumph. We did it. We actually won. I slumped back in the control chair, watching the data streams on the screens slowly stabilize, and let out a long, shaky breath. Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei burst in. They clung to me, their tears soaking through my jacket. I walked out of the Citadel, staring at the scarred, yet undeniably alive, land. Dawn broke once more. This time, no shadows, no fear, only endless, burning hope. Our fallen comrades, the heroes who gave their lives. Their sacrifice mattered. Humanity endured. We emerged from it, stronger than we've ever been. We held the line. We secured our future. And me, Luge, the nobody who just wanted to scrape by, I finally found my answer at the edge of the world. As long as the fire in our hearts burns, hope endures. A rain of fire fell from the sky. The wreckage of that massive alien carrier crashed down like burning meteors, even though we just blew that damn carrier to hell. The crisis is far from over. A chunk of the core, big as a damn mountain, is plummeting straight for Sector A, where we were. The ground shook with a deafening roar. That's when the system chimed in again. But this time, not that cold robotic voice. It sounded urgent, almost human. Stellar coordinates locked. Earth in mandatory evolution. Destroy transition core now. Earth defense protocol is kicking in. Forced evolution. We have to take out that core. Now, I'll look down at my system interface. Turns out, blowing up an alien mothership pays well. My kill credits reward went off the charts. A string of zeros, so long I lost count. Account balance, 999,999,999. Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei ran up, frantic. What now, Luja? I just smirked. Well, looks like we're filthy rich and out of options. Time to max out this safe house. My finger hammered the upgrade button. 100,000 credits. 1 million. 10 million. Credits drained like water. The safe house level shot up from 6, all the way to max level 9 in a blink. The entire steel fortress erupted in a blinding, blue-white light. Its roots dug deep into the earth. Its footprint expanded outward by nearly 100 times. Layers upon layers of heavy, super-alloy armor stacked up. The entire base was completely transformed into a high-tech mobile war fortress. System alert. Gravity control field unlocked. System alert. Aerial assault vehicle squadron unlocked. System alert. Antimatter Starkiller Foundry unlocked. Zhang Kai and Lao Hua stood dumbfounded in the Citadel's main hall. Lao Hua stammered, "This ain't no safe house. This firepower is enough to raid the aliens' homeworld." I patted his shoulder and said, "Earthsville gave us its last trump card. We need this gear to fight the aliens." But before we could even celebrate, Scarface, the special ops guy we sent on perimeter recon, came through with an urgent comm request. His voice was frantic over the channel. He said, "Lou, that core fragment you crashed in Sector, it's acting weird. The energy readings around it are off the charts. A whole bunch of leftover alien scum are swarming it. They're building a jump gate from wreckage. They're trying to forcibly summon the real alien main fleet here. And there's something worse." Scarface gulped and continued his report. "Those regular freaks created by the cleanup squads. They absorbed the dark energy radiation, leaking from the core fragment. Now they've all gone berserk, mutated out of control, turned into destroyers several meters tall. They don't recognize friend or foe anymore, just kill on sight. Even the reversal serum we used before is useless on them now." My heart sank when I heard that. I knew those aliens wouldn't be that easy to get rid of. If that jump gate gets completed, Earth will become the aliens' personal playground. We have to wipe them out before that gate activates. I gathered Li Zhangkai, and the entire special ops team in the command center. Looking at these brothers who've been through hell with me, I said, "Over. We've traded up from pea shooters. Time to settle the score with the alien remnants." Lao Hua volunteered to stay behind with the Sector F survivors and hold the maxed out Citadel, using its heavy firepower and gravity field to guard against the roaming, berserk mutated destroyers. I told him to hold the fort no matter what. Then, I led the most elite assault team out. We made it to the Citadel's mech hangar at the bottom, boarded the new hover assault vehicle. Plasma engines roared, spewing blue trails. It shot us towards Sector A like a bolt of lightning. The ground below was crawling with madness. Mutated destroyers on a rampage. Some of these monsters had 4 arms. Others oozed corrosive acid from their bodies. massive as a two-story house. But against our hover vehicle's high-energy rotary cannons, they were nothing but walking credits and XP bags. The vehicle plowed through, crushing every mutant in its path. It wasn't long before we fought our way back to the now familiar ruins of Sector A. I peered out the viewport. The southern district, where I used to live, our apartment block was long gone, leveled, replaced by a colossal, perfectly circular crater. The alien mothership's core was in the pit's center. It pulsed with a sickly purple light. The crater floor was teeming with surviving alien troopers, and hordes of low-level freaks they'd enslaved for labor. They were scurrying like worker ants, hauling metal components, assembling a massive Stargate frame hundreds of meters tall. I could see the space in the gate center already, rippling and shimmering violently. Another half hour, and this gate would have been fully operational. A cold smirk twisted my lips as I turned to Leadily. "All right, big guy, let him hear it. Make some noise." Leadily grinned back, a vicious, predatory thing. He'd been enhanced by Earth's will before. Now he was practically a living, breathing T-Rex on two legs. He hoisted the system's most expensive weapon, an antimatter rocket launcher, shoved the armored hatch open, and leapt onto the vehicle's roof. He aimed at the alien forces from his high perch. Just then, an alien commander down in the crater seemed to sense the movement above. It was clad in garish, high-grade golden power armor, arrogantly raised its high-frequency energy blade, pointing it straight at our vehicle. Its voice crackled over our comms, translated by some device. The translation was crude, broken. "Inferior native insects. Land immediately. Kneel and surrender. Serving the glorious star gods is your only path to survival." I almost choked on a laugh hearing that. On death's doorstep and still putting on airs, do they really think they're still the invincible vanguard fleet from before? Didn't even waste a breath arguing with it. My hand slammed down on the console, hitting the main cannon's fire button. A beam of blinding white light, thick as a barrel, split the air. The cocky golden alien commander didn't even have time to let out a single scream. Along with the dozens of heavy armor guards clustered around it, it was instantly vaporized into a cloud of ash by the cannon's heat. This sheer, overwhelming firepower threw the alien position into total chaos. Leadily wasn't idle either. Her shoulder cannon fired rapidly. Black antimatter energy orbs, like a reaper's scythe, crashed into the enemy ranks. There was no deafening explosion, just the bone-chilling silence of spatial annihilation. Any alien monstrosity touched by those black orbs screamed briefly before being silently erased from existence. A massive gap was torn open in the defensive line below. Scarface, the Special Forces leader, yelled, "Go!" Leading his squad, they slid down the ropes, like tigers descending a mountain into the pit. Razor-sharp military-grade vibroblades carve a bloody path through the enemy formation. Those alien remnants never expected us. They hit so fast and so hard. They were dazed, disoriented, completely unable to fight back. It looked like we were about to push through, reach the core device, and blow that Stargate to hell. Then the massive mothership core let out. A near-splitting, low-frequency hum. Purple light flared to an unbearable intensity. The air at the center of the Stargate was violently torn open by a terrifying force. An oppressive, suffocating pressure poured through that pitch-black spatial rift. Even the gravity in the pit warped and twisted. Zhang Kai's face went pale as he screamed into the comms. "Liu, fall back. Something big is forcing its way through." I clenched my Gauss sniper rifle, eyes locked on the ever-widening spatial rift. From the darkness within, something slowly emerged. A colossal, metallic, mechanical claw. Just one of its 3 sharp, alloy talons was bigger than our entire hover tank. Looks like the alien fleet's main beast mother. Couldn't wait any longer. It's forcing its way through. If that thing sets foot on Earth, everyone here becomes fertilizer. We have to shut that gate and blow the core. Now, none of us are getting out of here alive today, brothers. I grabbed the comm and roared at them. Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei roared in the cabin. Ramped the plasma engines to 2,100% overload. Pushed to 2,100% limit. Forget weapons. Ram core. Shatter that purple mothership core. Engines screamed, shredding the air. A scream that tore the air. A burning meteor plunging toward the light. Tilted and slammed into the pit's light. The Mother Beast sensed our intent. The Mother Beast sensed our intent. It unleashed a soul-shaking sonic roar. Its sky-blotting metal claw swung down with terrifying force. With terrifying wind pressure, it came crashing straight for our tank. Distance closed. Crushing G-forces pinned me. Violent weightlessness. I gripped the harness. Life or death. Next split second. The claw fell, wind tearing reality. Wind pressure tore through space. The tank's energy shields shattered into a million pieces on impact. Instantly shattered with a dense crackle. We were tossed like a ping-pong ball hit by a sledgehammer. How like a ping-pong ball? I felt my organs shift inside me. The gravity distortion made controlling my own body nearly impossible. In this desperate life-or-death moment, I gritted my teeth and activated the system's rampage overclock mode. Level 9 Citadel system seize control. The system seized the tank. Antimatter engines fired in reverse. Barely before the claw crushed us. We sideslipped a heartbeat before the claw could crush us. The tank scraped along the pit wall, showering sparks. A dazzling spark trail. In that instant, I saw the core. The self-destruct countdown hit 0. I grabbed Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei. I slammed the button for the single-person escape pods. As we were catapulted into the air, a hovering tank, packed with antimatter energy, slammed into the core. There was no sound, because all sound vanished. All sound devoured by the black hole. A wave of pure darkness exploded from the impact point. Purple light sucked in like a whale. Then came the gravitational collapse, like a tidal wave. That expanding interstellar jump gate began to warp and twist violently. A giant hand crushed the paper. The massive mechanical queen beast stuck right in the gate seam, let out a silent shriek. Its body was sliced apart by the collapsing space, like a hot knife through butter. Dark golden fluid and shattered mechanical parts gushed out. Then, the hundreds of meters tall star gate imploded inward, with one last blinding flash of white light. All the alien tech was reduced to primal dust. The alien soldiers at the crater's bottom, who hadn't evacuated in time, were instantly erased. With their coordinate guidance and power source gone, the alien aircraft still in the sky, spun out of control and plummeted. The interstellar invasion that could have wiped out Earth was over. Finished. A few surviving brothers, and I used the escape pods, cushioning to jump to the crater's edge. Everyone stared down at that now. Deathly silent pit, gasping for air. Lita Lee's broken war hammer thudded heavily onto the ground. He grinned a bloody, stupid grin. Zhang Kai plopped down on a pile of rubble, saying, we actually made it. I watched the eerie red glow on the horizon fade. Sunlight began to regain its clear, pure color. A sign our home was reborn. But just as we were about to pull out and head back to the Citadel, from behind the distant ruins came a steady rumble of engines. Over a dozen pitch-black, fully armored SUVs fanned out, surrounding us. Doors swung open. Dozens of people in sharp suits, looking arrogant, clustered around an old man stepping out. Behind them followed a large group of mercenaries, wielding high-tech weapons. On the old man's chest was a badge I'd never seen. The highest commander's insignia of the freak cleanup squad. He looked us over, covered in blood and grime, with a gaze that said we were beneath him. He clapped his hands together once, his tone all business, dripping with condescension. Mr. Luja, he said, your performance exceeded expectations. As survivors deemed suitable, you are hereby formally conscripted into the squad's Global Reconstruction Committee. That max-level safe house citadel in your hands is to be immediately surrendered to the committee. All weapon data inside, and the entire credit balance in the system will be confiscated. For the future of all mankind, you must make this sacrifice. The officials behind the old man nodded in agreement. One fat bureaucrat stared with naked greed at the system interface on my wrist. He sneered, the alien threat is over. This world needs a new order. Brutes like you, who only know how to kill, are obsolete. Kneel. Now, hand over control, or the committee will sanction you for crimes against humanity. Legally tensed, ready to charge again. I threw an arm out, stopping my furious brothers. My gaze was ice as I looked at the sanctimonious old man. I said, where were you hiding? Well, my brothers were taking bullets for everyone. Where was your precious committee? When the alien mothership was breathing down our necks. Now that the fighting's done, you crawl out to claim the spoils? Using the future of humanity as your fig leaf? I've always despised parasites like you. The kind that scheme in the shadows. The old man's face darkened, with a sharp wave of his left hand. Dozens of specialized plasma suppressor rifles snapped up, aimed at our heads. The situation is no longer yours to dictate, he stated. The committee controls 80% of the world's remaining shelters and supplies. Your level 9 citadel is formidable, but it's just one. Refuse to cooperate, and we'll erase you from history. I couldn't help but laugh. After tearing through the alien core, my safe holder rank had long shattered the system's limits. I tapped open my portal system interface. My finger hovered, then pressed the highest priority recall command. In that instant, the clear sky was blotted out by a massive descending shadow. Our level 9 mobile combat citadel. It's activated full speed hover mode, directly above the ruins. Its hundreds of meters long armored underbelly descended like a man-made continent. Gravity field projectors on its underside were to life. The old man's convoy and hired guns suddenly felt their bodies weigh tons. Every last one of them was crushed to the ground like dogs under the terrifying force. Can't even twitch a pinky. Those officials who were strutting around just moments ago are now all pissing and shitting themselves in terror. I strolled casually over to the old man, his face deathly pale. I look down into his eyes, brimming with raw fear. I say, who told you our citadel was the only one? I casually pull up the construction tab on the system art. Thanks to the special materials from the mothership's wreckage, and those hundreds of billions in credit rewards, I've unlocked every single building restriction. Under the old man's horrified gaze, propelled by the gravity field, the earth and rock around us begin to churn and reconfigure violently. Right next to my level 9 citadel, another colossal steel pillar punches towards the sky. A second, a third, until a dense forest of semi-mechanical fortresses fills the entire crater. The apex of each citadel crackles with soul-shredding particle cannon fire. I look down at the old commander and say, from now on, I write the rules of this world. You want to talk order? Let me show you what. True, absolute power looks like. I give a wave. Mechanical arms at the base of the citadels scoop up these greedy, rotten people and hurl them all beyond the defensive perimeter. Let them go to the wilderness and experience real, post-apocalyptic survival. At this very moment, the system issues one last, crisp, beautiful global announcement. System alert. Due to host Luja's complete annihilation of the alien, will and eradication of the parasitic entity, Earth's defense trial concluded perfectly. Credit and exchange systems remain active. Luja named Legendary Guardian by Earth's will. Global recovery phase initiated. Zhang Kai and Feng Hui whoop, hugging rifles and jumping. Tang Xiaoyue and Xiaowei run over and tightly link their arms through mine. Sunlight now bathes the scarred, yet vibrantly alive Earth in its full glory. I look back at the maxed out citadel and the rows of steel sentinels. I turn to my crew and say, no one's ever going to use us as lab rats again. If we could fight our way back to claim this land, we can build it into the most unbreakable paradise there is. Legally grins goofily and asks, does that mean we get braised poor ribs every day? I throw an arm around him. I think of all the knocks on the door along this journey, and those heart-stopping nights. I say, not just me. Every one of us gets to sleep soundly under the sun from now on. No one will dare knock on your door for your life again. I'm going to build the safest damn city in this world. Make it the seed where human civilization takes root again. Amid the cheers, I finally shut down that bloody system interface, the one that's been with me through every single fight. I see the scorched earth regreening. That heavy, suffocating pressure in my chest finally lifts. I'm Luja, the top dog in the safe house. In this broken, fallen world, I finally brought my crew and my purpose to the end and to a new beginning. Those self-important council officials, after being tossed outside the energy shield, shivered pathetically in the biting wasteland wind. Their fancy suits were caked with dust in no time. Without their high-tech toys and hired guns, they couldn't even handle the weakest, most common mutated rat in the ruins. I watched it all from the Citadel's high walls cold. Not a shred of pity in me. That's the real law of the apocalypse. Those who don't pull their weight get left behind. Even the old world elites are no exception. Turning back to the command center, my crew was huddled around the holographic map, buzzing with plans for the future. Zhang Kai pointed at a huge red zone on the map. Lu, with the credits and resources we got now, let's clean up this irradiated wasteland first. That used to be the best farmland. If we can grow food there, we can survive even if the system ever fails. I nodded. That's exactly what I had in mind. Sure, you can buy anything in the market now, but relying on the system forever? Not an option. Only by healing the Earth itself can human civilization truly go on. I pulled up my maxed out system interface, the envy of many. I buy environmental restoration instantly. Thousands of fully automated environmental scrubber drones swarmed out of the Citadel's hangars like bees. They worked tirelessly across the ruins, neutralizing radiation, breaking down waste, rebuilding the soil. The once gray sky grew clearer day by day under the purification fields. The skeletons of dead trees were cleared away, replaced by rows of tender green saplings. In just a month, the land for 100 miles around the Citadel was cloaked in green again. Clear water flowed once more in the riverbeds. This miraculous sight drew scattered survivors from across the globe. They crossed mountains with their families, just to glimpse the legendary Hope's Bastion. For these ordinary people who truly wanted to live, I opened the gates wide. Anyone willing to work and follow the rules here could find shelter and food. Soon, brand new residential buildings sprang up around the Citadel. No more dark, oppressive underground bunkers. These were modern apartments with wide, floor-to-ceiling windows, letting the sunlight pour in. Legally became the new city's construction minister. The guy's built like a tank, but he works with more care than anyone. He sweats it out on site daily. During lunch breaks, he'd sit on a pile of rebar. He grins, devouring 2 huge pork hocks. Said he never dreamed he'd live a life this good. Feng Hui and the Special Forces squad formed the new city guard. They patrol the city day and night, clad in the system's light exosuit armor, whether it's leftover mutated beasts or drifters with bad intentions. Take one step too close and you get kicked out. No mercy. Yinyan's grown a lot too, even though Lin Wan's gone. Tang Xiaoyue and Xiaowei treat her like their own little sister. The kid now carries a backpack to class. In a newly built school, I passed by the other day and heard the sound of kids reciting their lessons. In that moment, it hit me. Everything we fought for, risking our lives, it was all worth it. Another late night. I climbed alone to the highest point of the citadel. Looked down at the city below, lit up with lights. No more terrified screams in the streets. Instead, the laughter of children and the noise of night market. That's when the space behind me shimmered slightly. That familiar, tall, pale figure materialized again. He still wore that silver robe, but the suffocating aura of pressure that used to cling to him was gone, replaced by something calm and gentle. He walked over and stood beside me, looking at the sea of lights. He said, "Luja, you've done better than I ever imagined. Earth's defense protocol is completely stable now. It's time to shut down that brutal culling protocol for good." I turned to look at him, feeling a strange pang of reluctance, even though he was a damn demon at first, pushing us to the brink of life and death. It was his cold, ruthless edge that forged the iron will to survive in our bones. I asked him where he'd go next, if he'd ever come back. The pale man just shook his head softly. His body began dissolving into countless points of light, fading away. He said his mission was done. This planet doesn't need a cold overseer anymore. The road ahead is yours to walk, but I'll become the mountains and rivers, the wind and rain, watching over you always. Remember, as long as hope lives, I am everywhere. As the last word faded, his form vanished completely into the night wind. At the same moment, the system interface on my wrist let out one final low hum. Every task log cleared. The countdown that had hung over my head, a constant threat, finally hit zero. All that remained was a permanent exchange and full Citadel control. The final gift from Earth's will to its guardian. I took a deep breath. A weight I'd never known was there lifted from my shoulders. The nightmares, being chased by the undead, swarmed by freaks, crushed by the alien dreadnoughts. They finally ended. Right here, Tang Xiaoya and Xiao Wei stepped onto the terrace. They draped it gently over my shoulders. "What's so fascinating out there?" they asked, smiling. I took their hands in mine, pointed to the brightest star on the far horizon. "Our future," I said. "No more killing, no more fear, just a simple, precious peace we fought so long to find." Zhang Kai yelled from below, telling me to get down for a drink. Suddenly Dolly was roasting another whole lamb. If we were late, even the bones would be gone. With an arm around my loves, I turned from the tower's edge, walked back down into the world below, our world alive and breathing. This isn't a story about survival anymore. It's a new chapter, a story about living. And me, Luja, once a top-tier safe house owner, now the guardian of this city. I'll keep writing humanity's legend on this reborn land. Only this time, there's no mechanical voice from the system to remind me. Every sunrise is proof enough.